My mic's off. Yo, 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 yo. Hold on one second. I gotta close the door. Rockington. Watch out. Watch out, Bubbas. Lay with me, but we gotta close this. Lay with me, but we gotta close it. You're gonna eat in a second, too. Lay down, Bubby. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, the Mac Daddy's back, yeah? It's the Mac Daddy. What's up? It's a different Toad at 170. It's a different fight. I put my big Irish paws on your face. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is Conor McGregor fight week. And today was Conor McGregor Media Day. Oh, also, we got new soundboard.
Tell him, come on.
Get a couple
because it's gonna be bad,
bro. Just
it's gonna be bad, man.
And also,
Hey, pound it.
That one might need to be a little quieter. Let me make that one a little quieter.
Hey, pound it.
There you go.
Tell him, come on.
Get a couple
because it's gonna be bad,
bro. Just
it's gonna be bad, man.
I gotta make a Conor McGregor one before Saturday. I know which one I'm gonna use. I'll show you which one I'm gonna use. I'll show you real quick. We're going to talk about Conor's entire media day today because it was awesome to see Conor back in the spotlight, to see him back. And we're going to talk about how I think there's a lot of missing gems in what he said for how he's going to fight on Saturday. I don't know if people caught it, but I definitely did. Manish on a beat, shebang. Where's it at? Where is it at?
He's returning July 11th in Las Vegas. It has been a minute, as they say, since we spoke to him face to face. Certainly a lot has happened since the last time we spoke to him. But
I'll have the fucking courage to do it. Whatever. Gets on the phone. What's the crack, Terrence? It's the Mac Daddy. I got the big fella here.
I'm definitely using that one for Saturday, dude.
Phone. What's the crack, Terrence? It's the Mac Daddy. I got the big fella here.
I'm using that one. Either that one or the wah. Oh, my God. All right. Anyway, we'll get into that on Saturday. I think I just got a freaking hair going in my eye. Okay, today, chat, listen. We had Conor McGregor doing the media rounds, but also Complex released this interview of Conor, ranking the best UFC fighters of all time. We're going to watch that today. Then we had Conor on media days. I thought this was the fuck you pinstripe. I thought I was fuck you pinstripes me. But apparently that's a different suit. And then we're just going to go through some of the other stuff from behind the scenes that happened today. We're definitely going to talk about this because this one's, people are making the rounds on the sexual assault case. Just everything to do with Conor's media day. Oh, also, I don't have the New York Times. Sorry, broke boy here. But apparently the New York Times dropped quite frankly, another hit piece on Conor McGregor using PEDs. Because as I've said, I will stand by fighters using PEDs to come back from injury. They're saying that he used them after he come back from injury, but I don't know what the timeline of that would be. Maybe it's in the article. We might have to pay for it today just to read that. But that also happened today. It's all dropping today. But again, I'm not going to bash Conor for taking PEDs. But let's start, ladies and gentlemen. I got so many things on the table. Let's start with Conor McGregor's interview with Complex, because today he sat down and ranked the UFC's best fighters of all time. And this is where I truly believe delusional Mac. If we have the different forms of Conor, we have, Mystic Mac, we have boxing stance Conor, we have karate stance Conor, we have focus McGregor, we have cokehead Conor. This is where I believe delusional Conor, the Mystic Mac, kind of mixed in with the rewriting of history Mac, came into play today. He sat down with Complex to rank the best UFC fighters of all time. And shocking to no one, he ranked himself number one. So we have to talk about that. He also brings up, apparently, Khabib Nurmagomedov in this interview, clowns on John Jones a bit. So we have to watch this thing and break it down. Who truly is the UFC's best fighter of all time, and why is it absolutely not Conor McGregor? I think he's the biggest star in MMA history, but I don't think he's the best of all time. Let's talk about it. Conor McGregor fight week, starting off with a shebang.
Hey, pound it.
And now it's time to see who he thinks is the pound for pound number one. This is awesome, man. Let's take a look.
Download the Complex app, re-rank them, and show us how you did in the comments down below.
This is bullshit, this list, to be honest. That is not martial arts. That is nothing to me.
Oh, this is the same day he did the Helwani interview in New York.
Now I'm in competition mode here, you see?
I can tell.
I'm bringing that Mac-Daddy, baby.
Dog, why is he carrying around this cigar? I saw someone say it's been 5 interviews and that cigar still ain't lit. What's he carrying it around for? He's holding it like he's about to smoke it. That thing ain't been touched in 2 months. What are we doing, bro? Yeah, that cigar ain't been lit in 2 weeks, dog. What are we doing? It's the Mac-Daddy.
I'm home. The Mac is back.
It's a fashion statement, dude. I've never seen a cigar used as a fashion statement. I've seen it used as an accessory before, but then you smoke it. You know what I mean? You smoke it. Not just as a fashion statement in its own.
What up, y'all? For Complex, I'm Jordan Rose, and you are watching Re-Rank. It is a show with electrifying lists and even more electrifying guests, and today I might be joined with...
I can't get over this suit, bro. Willy Wonka and the Whiskey Factory, dude. That's what we're looking at. What is this outfit? That hat kills me, dude. He's got the bill flipped up on it in the front for optimal viewing. It looks like if you took it off, the rest of his hair would go with it. You know what I'm saying?
A show with electrifying lists and even more electrifying guests, and today I might be joined with the most electrifying, the most notorious former lightweight featherweight champion of the world, Conor McGregor is in.
So happy we are back. The OG ways of the MMA concept. White House, Conor, Max, back to back on y'all asses. We are so back. So good to be here, my brother. Hey, appreciate that. Yes. I'm feeling like the old MMA concept, bro. I'm feeling like it's 2016, 2017 again. It's fun to be here, dude. I can't wait for Saturday. The back-to-back bangers the UFC's putting on. And Conor, we'll talk about it more as we get into these interviews. But, yeah, he's looking confident. I'll give him his credit. He looks like he's locked in, ready to go. Fair play to him. Also, where is that fucking coming from? Where's the let me try his meat thing coming from, brothers? I don't even have that thing. I don't even have it turned on.
The building, my brother. How you feeling?
What's up, my man? What's up, Complex? Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Man, I'm glad we got you in the building because the list we're going to be discussing today is the best UFC fighters of all time. A list that you didn't...
Giving this guy.
You see?
Letting me try his meat.
I have to turn it off because it's going to fuck the videos, but let me try his meat is crazy. Tell me why Conor rented a cigar for that fit. Dude, everything goes together. The crazy part is Conor rented a cigar for his fit. This dude didn't even take care of his hair. He got hair poking out everywhere, dude. Come on. Figure it out. Wear a hat at that point, dude. Is that Hamzat? Yeah, it's Hamzat. Let me try his meat. That's what he said about Sean Strickland, dude. That was the dono sound for Sean Strickland. I don't know what the fuck. Let me try his meat. I can't wait for Wade to cover Conor's one-man presser. Oh, yes, dude. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. He's in a full suit but wearing green Crocs and he keeps adjusting his junk like nonstop. Please, if someone has a link. Wait, I thought you meant the presser from earlier. Is this something else that I'm missing?
Hunter. Even this guy. Letting me try his meat.
Who did Conor unfollow? I don't know. It was Complex. He unfollowed Complex because they put him as the 18th of 25 best fighters. Have Awani's takes been extra biased lately? I mean, I will say this. It felt like Ariel's takes on the MMA, on MVP MMA were very biased. That's what it felt like to me. But that's just, maybe that's my bias. Sitting face-to-face with W.A.D.E and not having him in the top 10 is a death sentence? Yeah, facts. So I have to find the croc shit later, but here we go with this.
Notorious former lightweight featherweight champion of the world, Conor McGregor is in the building, my brother. How you feeling?
What's up, my man? What's up, Complex? Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Man, I'm glad we got you in the building because the list we're going to be discussing today is the best UFC fighters of all time. A list that you didn't quite agree with when we first published it.
Yeah, for sure. It touched a nerve, it hit a nerve. So I fired a shot. That's what the Mac does.
You fired a shot.
To be fair to Conor, rating him as the 18th best, it almost feels blasphemous to do that. Now, on a technical level, talking about his wins and losses, talking about his time in the UFC, that's probably not too far-fetched. But when you think about Conor McGregor, you don't think of him as the 18th best fighter that's ever fought in the promotion. He's larger than life. I feel like you have to put him in the top 10 somewhere, even though it's probably not realistically true that he's a top 10 MMA fighter of all time. It just feels crazy to say that. The first double champ, he beat two of the guys that's considered the best featherweights ever at that weight class to go to the belt and get it. And it's like, and he beat Dustin. Obviously, Dustin came back, but Conor's resume just doesn't hold up to somebody else, to some of these other guys. But biggest star in the sport, transcended combat sports, is the reason the UFC, along with Ronda Rousey for the most part, is the reason the UFC sold for $4 billion in 2016. But 18 feels low, bro.
To stick to mixtapes, but I'm hoping, you said you unfollowed us, this is gonna get us the follow back, okay?
Go on.
Yeah, so basically how this is gonna go is, we're gonna be looking at the top 10. We're gonna go one spot at a time. You're gonna tell me if we got it right or not. If you disagree with us, you can choose to have somebody move up or down. So we're gonna start at number 1. Who do you think we have as the best UFC fighter of all time?
Me. It should be me. It should be me. My body of work and the magnitude I've put this company and this game on and the heights I've reached, it's only me.
Okay.
It's only me.
Our number 1.
Before he reveals number 1, Conor's body of work in the cage does not indicate him as a number 1 pound-for-pound guy. It doesn't indicate him as a number 1 top all-time fighter, but he is the number 1 biggest star for sure. And he does have a body of work that should be recognized better than 18, in my opinion.
Let's just reveal it. Is the man himself, Jon Bones Jones.
That is the answer, by the way. I know that chat that's watching this live, you guys don't like it. In the comment section, you're not going to like it. But the right answer in the best UFC fighter of all time is clearly, undoubtedly, Jon Jones. I don't want to hear your George St. Pierre's. I don't want to hear your Anderson Silvas. It's Jon Bones Jones. It is. I'm sorry. You want to talk about body of work. You want to talk about time on top. And he did it in 2 weight classes. George did that, but George did like a little bit different than Jon did. And in the same kind of like picky choosy, but Jon did it for so much longer at the top. Never, technically, yes, has 1 loss, but never actually got beat. Jon beat himself. You guys can say Islam, but it's still not there yet to me. Body of work for Islam is there. A couple more title defenses at 170. We got a real conversation. But Jon Bones Jones, no doubt about it. Mighty Mouse is up there as well, but it's always hard for me to do and I love DJ, bro, so I don't even want to say it like this, but it's always hard for me to recognize the 125 to 35 pounders just because the majority of the world sees that like heavier weight class as the man, the baddest man on the planet, doing it against the baddest men on the planet. No offense to DJ and those guys, but the smaller weight classes sometimes don't get that same credit. And when you look at some of the roster of DJ, it doesn't line up the same. It's John. It's John.
John looks very soft there. I don't know about you, man. That's not number. Not physicality is not number one there anyway. But look, where is he now? Where is he now? It's who's left.
I picked a picture of John at heavyweight, and he's all fat and shit. Conor's like, look at his fat ass that y'all picked. This argument that Conor brings about, you know, the longevity champ or who's still around being a part of the best of all time makes no sense. But Conor's almost been a decade away from the sport, so I don't know. He's gonna make this argument of like, I'm here and no one else is, but Conor took like 8 years off.
Baby, you get me? It's the pain game. Who can outlast? Who can stay longest? And here I am still. Maybe why you might have thought I could be placed in the position that you tried to place me. It's only fuel to my fire. And I come back on July 11th. I'm very excited to showcase that none of these boys, including John here, with his history, is not on my level.
But, you know.
That's crazy. That's absolutely delusional, Mac. Again, the delusional Mac is back. The Mac Daddy. That has to be in no way, shape, or form. I mean, it is the most delusional thing I've ever heard, but it's in no way, shape, or form true. Conor is not the longevity champ. He has not been doing it the longest. He has taken the longest time away to then come back and have these one-off fights, but John's body of work is completely shits on Conor's. Not to mention, like you guys said, Islam, DJ, Anderson, GSP, even, you know, people we don't recognize as the top guys now anymore, but like some of these guys that are around in the newer era, that Alex Volkanovski, for example, that may not even creep in your mind as an all-time GOAT, they have better resumes than Conor does. You could argue Jose Aldo and Max Holloway. Not even argue. They probably do. But then Conor beat them both, so there's that. The point is, Conor's longevity play has been fight when he wants to, and I guess because of that, he's able to stay around. And again, to be fair, Conor had a catastrophic leg injury. One that would not only end careers, but would change lives. So I'm not here trying to bash him for not fighting more. I don't even know if he should be fighting now, right? But we'll see on Saturday. That leg injury would have stopped most people's careers. It stopped Chris Weidman's career. It made Chris Weidman take one more fight, and he was like, I'm good with this. It made Anderson Silva, among other things, go to boxing, right? So it's like, let's also understand that point of it, but yeah, come on now.
Oh, you can respect that, you know, Jones, youngest UFC champion.
Yeah.
Really dominant in his time when he was in the octagon. Most widely would agree on it is the best. Could you see where we're coming from with us putting him at 1?
He's got 8 knockouts. I've got 19. You know, I look the metrics.
Does John actually have 8 knockouts? Conor's really known for like doing his research on people. I'd be shocked if he was wrong here. He's like one of those guys that has like a, you know, I wouldn't say a photographic memory. No, he has, well, maybe he means inside the UFC, because John has 11 knockouts for his career. But if they're talking inside the UFC, I wonder if he's actually right. Let's see. I don't know if that's true, but regardless, Conor's whole thing about like only knockouts count is hilarious too, because Conor will count the wins he doesn't have by knockout, like the Max win, and then everybody else, it's like, no, that win doesn't count.
I understand what you're saying, and I understand the greatness of John for sure. But the metrics, it's hard to weigh it all up with the metrics. There's always
Conor doesn't have 19 in the UFC either, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Variables that alter it entirely. I can see it. I can see what you're saying, for sure.
You can see what you're saying,
for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so let's reveal our second spot. George St. Pierre, GSP, that's our number 2.
George is also great. Again, metrics. Again, dazzling finishes. Big KOs. How many? None. Not many. 6, 7, 8. These guys are sub-10 knockouts.
But something that
a lot of decisions, a lot of stalling, a lot of holding, a lot of not taking the risks. You look at my body of work and it's straight to the fire. There's no tuning up. There's getting almost messed with on the outside of the game. Stalling my career. And then what? Do I come back to a tune-up? Do I come back for a gimme fight like most do? No, never. Not once. In fact, I go straight into the fire. George had an opportunity to give birth to the super fight against Anderson Silva, and he hadn't the courage. He had not got the courage to go from 170 pounds up to the middleweight division. And until I had done it, and then many years later, he picked his good moment. The correct opponent presented itself. But I see...
I mean, listen, he's cooking a little bit. Now, it's super disrespectful to say he hadn't the courage. Super disrespectful to say that George St. Pierre was a boring fighter, all that. He wasn't a knockout artist like Conor was, but then again, John Jones wasn't a knockout artist, but he was a nasty, nasty fighter. His stoppages, the way he would submit guys, the way he would ground and pound, like these guys were not boring fighters. But what Conor is now trying to like inflect into the greatest of all time argument is, one, your style of fighting, which is, who's the most entertaining style of fighting. Conor's is one of the more entertaining, and he does go for it every time. And two, this idea that, like, if you come back, you have to come back against the challenge. You don't take tune-up fights. And while that is true that Conor has taken challenges off of a seemingly long layoff, he also came back in 2020 to fight Donald Cerrone. You know what I'm saying? At 170. And beat him in like 35 seconds. The Cowboy fight, that was a tune-up fight. That was not a good Cowboy. Had he come back and fought Jorge Masvidal at that time, I'd be like, okay, Conor is cooking, right? Conor is making sense because he fought Khabib off a 2-year layoff. And now he's going to fight Max Holloway, who is probably the most dangerous fight for him since the Khabib fight. But it's like, I get what he's saying. George did take a relatively easy fight, Michael Bisping, one eye at UFC 217. John comes back. John's come back at heavyweight. We can kind of argue now because he came into heavyweight and fought Ciryl Gane, who is now your interim champ, right? Obviously, he avoided Tom Aspinall. We know that's the story there. He avoided Tom Aspinall to high hell. We get it. But coming in to heavyweight and giving Ciryl Gane a chiropractic adjustment, popping his vertebrae, and submitting him in a minute and a half, that's a pretty damn good win for John. That win is aging like fine wine. It's aging like a proper 12 whiskey, mate. But then again, he goes on to fight Stipe, 40-plus years old, look like shit. So Conor's got a bit of a point. But at the same time, you can't start adding these little... these little nuances that aren't really nuances. They're more just like biases to the way Conor fights. No one's arguing that Conor's not one of the most entertaining fighters ever. And that he's got a big sack of Irish balls.
Pause.
But the point I'm making is none of this qualifies him as the greatest.
The greatness of it, I see it somewhat.
I want to try a Mac Energy, dude. If it's in the freaking United States right now, I'll try it.
To defend GSP slightly, though, you also can respect the power and importance of redemption. The 2 losses he has, Matt Hughes, Matt Serra, he beat both of them.
Love it.
Facts. He got them both back.
After losing to them.
Love it. And bravo to Matt Hughes and Matt Serra for granting a rematch. Because it takes great courage to grant a man a rematch. It takes great courage. It's very hard. In fact, it's a lot more difficult to beat a man twice, a second time, than it is the first time. It's another world of a fight. Did George ever do it? Did John ever do it? I know they've had very close bouts. Was their opponents granted it? Was these opponents granted a rematch?
I mean, John did fight Daniel Cormier twice. So there's that. Yeah, there's that. And George, after he had beaten, Matt Hughes the second time? There's not been many. But Conor also didn't grant everybody a rematch that he beat either. We never got the Jose Aldo rematch. We never got the Eddie Alvarez rematch. Yeah, by the way, Alexander Gustafsson, BJ Penn, that's a good one as well. Conor is he's been really like on this media tour talking about how rematches mean everything and that everybody should have the courage to give a rematch. You know where this comes from. You know where this comes from. This comes from Conor never getting his rematch with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Point blank period. Argue with the wall. This is where Conor has this pride because he can't really hold it over John and George because they both gave people rematches. But he can hold it over Khabib. And that's the one thing Khabib, that's the one thing that Conor, it will irk his soul until the end of time. And I know it because of the way his face contorts when they mention Khabib. And he's not wrong. Yes, we all would have loved to have seen the rematch with a focused Conor and Khabib, but it just never was going to materialize. Just never did. I'd love to see it right now, but it's never going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, they were. These are all metrics that factor in.
You're in a rematch too, July 11th, Max Holloway. Over a decade in the making. What?
Wait, who said I'm a hater? Brothers, I am not a hater of Conor McGregor. One of my first, obviously, you guys know that have been here at the channel. Daniel Cormier was my favorite fighter coming into MMA in like late 2010. But Conor McGregor, if you were an MMA fan in that 2013 era, there was no one that captivated your mind and made you want to watch the sport more than Conor McGregor. I am by no means a hater of Conor McGregor. His moments, the Chad Mendez fight, the Jose Aldo fight, the press conferences, the calling out of Rafael dos Anjos to go to 55. Rafael falls out. Conor takes the Nate first fight on short notice, loses, says, fuck it, we're going back and doing the same fight at the same weight, wins it, and then goes on and fights Eddie Alvarez. Masterful performance. Goes into boxing, talking crazy shit to Floyd Mayweather. That's my guy. That version of Conor is my guy, I should say. But I don't know if it was somebody. Oh, it's somebody else in the comments. I'm just saying. Don't get it twisted. We love that the Mac is back.
What made you comfortable in this return fight to have this rematch?
I'm comfortable in the uncomfortable. You know, they picked the opponent. I beat him before. I have a date. I'm happy it's Holloway. We had a great bout our first time around. He's done some good work in the octagon after, as have I. It's a great martial art fight for the fans. An iconic one. And another one that I'm at the helm of.
Right. I mean, look,
it's because of me.
He kind of sounds like Yoda when he talks, doesn't he? It's a great one. An iconic one. It's a little weird noise.
So I'm happy.
An iconic one it is.
Yeah.
You know, the UFC loves rematches, but
I'm in competition mode here, you see?
I can tell.
You catch me maybe a couple of months back, probably different. You know, I come differently here.
Yeah.
But I'm about to fight here. I'd beat George. I'd beat John.
Yeah, bro. Delusional Conor is fully back. He's fully back. I love it. He is. He's in competition mode because only delusional competition mode Conor would come out and say, I'd beat John. John Jones. You're beating John. All right, bro. You're beating John Jones. There was thoughts when Conor came up and grabbed the belt at 55, all the way back when he did it. There were talks. No joke. It wasn't just about like fans saying this. Rogan had talked about it on his Fight Companions. I remember, like 2017 era, 2018, when George ended up coming back. There were talks of Conor and George at 170. No joke. That was like, and I think Conor had even said he wanted to do it. But of course, that would have been a really rough fight for Conor. But still, he's a psycho, dude. I love him. This version of Conor is the best one that we've seen in the media rounds, by the way. This one and the interview with Ariel Helwani are the best ones because, you know, today, he was a little bit more tame. Yesterday, not really much personality in what he's doing. I think he's kind of getting tired of the media stuff. I told you guys I don't think he likes doing it, really. But this one in the Helwani podcast were very good.
You get me? I'd find ways to beat John. John can't box. John can't box.
John's a big guy.
John can't box. John can stomp the knee. John's main body of work, from me, his most successful stuff is his stomps.
That spinning elbow?
I mean, yeah.
He's a few mils. Come on, then. I'll give him a few mils.
Yeah, well, first off, I think John's greatest strength is his variability. I think it's John Jones' ability to adjust and, honestly, to follow a game plan. John Jones can follow a game plan, I think, better than most fighters can, and he can execute better than most fighters can. His ground and pound is insane. His grappling, his MMA grappling is nuts. His kicking, like Conor said, is very good. His stomps to the knees are great, but it's more just game plan and execution from John. His MMA fight IQ, on top of the fact that Conor's like 5'9", John's like 6. I mean, what are we even doing? John would eye poke him to death with that crazy reach, pick him up, throw him on his head, ground and pound, GG. Like, we're not even talking about this. We're not even talking about this. It's John easily. Conor's just in fight mode.
I'll give him a few. He can box a little. He can box a little, yeah.
So that's our 1 and 2, right? We'll leave. It seems like we're gonna leave him as is for now.
We're gonna have John in the year now as well. No problem as well.
We're gonna keep rolling down this list. I'm getting scared.
If you go down in the list, I'm sure you're gonna come to a few names. Can't even kick above their fucking knee. Can't even touch their feet. They have not flexibility or dexterity in the body. That is not.
Conor's MMA GOAT tier list has to include flexibility and dexterity. Oh yeah, well, can they touch their toe? Not top 10. What's their hamstring strength looking like? Did they train with Ido Portal? Someone said Usman's fucked. Kamaru Usman immediately out of the top 10, dude. Fuck out of here. Walking downstairs backward, dude. Not going to cut it.
Martial arts. That is nothing to me.
The next person
we hear it all night if you keep.
Isn't too much of a kicker, more of a wrestler. At our 3 spot.
Come on, the guy done nothing in
the... He didn't even say his name. He didn't even say his name, and Conor started on him. Come on, the guy didn't even. The bleeding tick didn't even. Dude, look how quickly Conor got animated over this, dog.
Isn't too much of a kicker, more of a wrestler. At our 3 spot.
Come on, the guy done nothing in the sport. He got nothing in the sport. 13 fights he's had in the company. That's it. And 3 against named opponents. 3 against named. He had a fight against me coming off of. I was off the yacht. I was doing bad things on a yacht, yeah.
I was doing bad things on a yacht, yeah. We know, buddy. We know. There was not enough blow to supply all of Colombia when you were on that yacht. We get it. The yacht days were legendary. We understand. And we saw the performance. We know that yacht Conor is not the best fight Conor. I was doing bad things on a yacht. Oh, my God. But again, Conor says Khabib has 13 fights in the UFC. I think Conor has 14. So, but he is right that, for the most part, Khabib's career was stat padded. Gotta make that a soundbite. Facts, dude.
Hey, pound it.
I think that this is what really irks Conor, is that people rate Khabib so highly and they don't put Conor anywhere near him. And Conor, in his mind and in his soul, truly believes that he could beat Khabib. He truly believes he could beat him. And I don't know why he decided to take that fight while also fucking, doing blow and snorting it out of strippers' buttholes or whatever. I don't know why he was not focused and locked in for that fight. I don't understand, and I never will. But the 2-year layoff definitely had something to do with it. But it still irks him. It does. It still irks him. And you could tell anytime he talks about it, he has the talking points to go to, right?
I was partying heavily, and I was with my eyeballs in court cases and all of this.
I had your eyeballs in something.
Fought in 2 years. I was worth 200 million. I come back and fight this fucking guy. I done 4 rounds with him. I had a broken toe. I'm sure you've seen the Netflix show where I broke my.
You saw my Netflix doc. You saw that. My foot was a balloon.
My fucking foot. 3 weeks before the bout. This guy's nothing. Then where is he now also? He's gone. So I don't rate him at all. I don't rate him at all. No courage. The man has no courage. The man has succumbed to his pain, and it is a damn shame. I have nothing to say to him. Nothing to say about him.
He's talked about him for like a minute straight, talking about I have nothing to say to him and nothing about him. This is... as much as I love that Conor has this delusional self-belief, I do. I love it. And I do love when he gets animated because it makes things far more entertaining. To say Khabib is a coward, or to say he went running, or to say he didn't have self-belief, or all these things. Yes, Conor went 4 rounds with Khabib, but it wasn't a particularly close 4 rounds. It was an impressive feat that he was cocaine Conor, not giving a fuck Conor, and went to 4. And he had some takedown defense in there. And the first exchange of the fight was really great for Conor until it wasn't, with him, landing the knee, stuffing the takedown, trying. But let's be honest about that fight. Listen, you guys know I think Khabib's a massive scammer. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the biggest fan of Khabib's post-MMA scamminess. But Conor got thoroughly beaten that night. He did. That's just it. He got thoroughly beaten that night. Khabib pretty much did whatever he wanted with him, rocked him, dropped him. Yes, Conor's hand touching the ground means he got dropped. And eventually finished him. And that's just it, right? That's just it. Conor performed admirably in the space that he was in the state that he was in. But this is why it irks him. Because like I thought Khabib was going to stop him in the second round where he was talking to Conor and talk now. Now, would a locked-in Conor beat Khabib? Chad is saying locked-in Conor would have beat him. There's an argument there that Conor would have performed far better, no doubt. But about beating him, I don't know. Because when's the last time we saw locked-in Conor? The Eddie Alvarez fight? We're talking, now, 10 years later. At that time, 2 years later, I don't know. The one thing we've always said about Conor is he's got uber talent, right? He's technically very, very solid with his precise punching. He, striking-wise, can expose you in a ton of different ways with his kicks, with his punches. The left hand has a magical touch to it. It's the touch of death, Firas Zahabi once said. But his inefficiencies in the highest level of grappling and his gas tank and the fact that he took so much time off, locked in or not, the game kind of passed him. The low calf kicks passed him a bit. Guys weren't just standing in front of him or running straight back when he came with the strikes. The grappling advanced a bit. These things happen. So, as much as I would love to see a rematch, it'd more so be for the buildup for these two. That's what I would love to see, is the buildup between these two in a rematch. But Conor can't say, Khabib is a coward and all this, because Khabib beat him. That's just it. And Conor will never give him the credit for it.
I don't rate him.
So that means he's going to move down. Because if you think someone shouldn't be in the spot that they're at, you can...
Missed weight, never fought above weight divisions. 3 fights, no stoppages, no knockouts. Come on, man. How many more knockouts has he got? Fucking 3 or 4. You must be mad.
He was acting like he was going to smoke it. Oh, I shit on bus. He was going to pull that cigar up like he was going to smoke it. Why are we got people in chat saying, like, I'm coming to your house? What are we doing, guys? Lock in. Chatters saying they're going to meet up and fight. What are we doing? Conor makes a good point about why I think Khabib is nowhere in the top 5 ever pound for pound, because he didn't fight at 2 different weight classes, and he could have. I mean, he was missing weight at 155 and really should have been at 170 at certain points, I think. And you look at Khabib now, good Lord, he could fight at heavyweight. That, plus the fact that his first, 17 or 18 fights were straight up cherry-picked, easy W's. And I don't know if it was, Conor says it was in his father's promotion. I don't know if that's true, but it definitely was in a set-up promotion for Khabib to have very advantageous fights to stat pad his record. Point blank period, Khabib, before he got into the UFC, was a stat padder. When he got into the UFC, he had to win tough fights, right? You can argue about the Gleason-Tebow fight, but that's really the only one. And then, him winning the belt from Al Iaquinta is not great, not his fault. It's not great. But the big 3 that he does have on his resume Conor, Dustin, Justin. 2 of those world champions, right? Now, that's why, again, I don't put Khabib in my top 5 ever. I don't put him top 5 pound for pound ever. I don't put him anywhere near that because he didn't have the title defenses. He didn't do the multiple weight classes, and he retired early. But again, Conor saying, all this stuff about how he doesn't deserve to be top, he still beat him. So it's tough.
You must be mad if I'm going to waste
true.
my fucking time watching this shit.
Never lost, though. He's never lost.
His first half of his work was fighting in his father's shows in the middle of nowhere in wherever they're from, right? He's like 12-0. The opponent he's fighting is 0-0.
It's true.
0-0. This isn't boxing.
Okay.
I don't rate him. I don't know.
He's cooking right there. Hey, right there, he is cooking about Khabib's stat padding, dude. We have to go and look now because I don't think you guys realize how blatant it was. There's a lot of like romanticizing of Khabib after his career. And again, I understand why. He is probably the perfect MMA grappler with an iron chin, I think. I think he had such a great chin because you go back and you look at that freaking Justin Gaethje fight. Hell, you look at the way that he was taking shots from Dustin Poirier, and he's got a freaking chin on him, no doubt. Tapology, let's see here. To be fair, Conor never defended. I agree. This is why Conor's not in my top 10 either. Okay, look at Khabib's record before we get to the UFC. Hold on. Before we get to the UFC, we got a W versus a guy that's 0-0. Dude that's 5-2, 1-1, 0-2, 13-9, 4-2, 5-5, 2-1, 2-0, 1-0, 0-0. Like, it's not good, dude. These are not good wins. Now, again, when you get into the UFC, you're fighting real dudes, all right? You're fighting real dudes, so I can't say anything about that. But even then, you look at his UFC roster, Abel Trujillo's not great. Pat Healy's an okay win. Rafael dos Anjos, okay win. Michael Johnson, nah. Edson Barboza's an okay win. I think that at the time that was a really good win for him. Ali Quinta for the belt is insane. Never fought Tony, never fought Max. Gets the win over Conor. Dominates Dustin, dominates Justin. So how many great wins does he have? 1, 2, 3. I'd say the Barboza win is a good win, even though he won a unanimous decision. No finish. I'm not going to pull the Conor McGregor and act like it's not a good win because he didn't finish him. That's a good win. And then the Rafael dos Anjos. But great, truly great wins, 3. Conor's not wrong. He has 3 truly great wins. To be fair, though, we look at Conor's record. How many great wins does he have? Right? At this time, Max was not Max, but that aged to be a really good win. This aged to be a really good win. This was a really good win. This was a great win. Really bad loss. I think. A really, really bad loss. Even though he was, at the time, Nate was the number 3 lightweight in the world. I didn't know that. But not a great loss. Gets it back, though. So, I mean, this is like the St. Pierre, Matt Serra loss, right? Get that one back. You could argue losing to St. Pierre or losing to Matt Serra is way worse than losing to Nate Diaz. But neither here nor there. Serra was a champ. Good win, I think. I mean, Eddie was a champ. So that's a good win. Not a great, he lost, but it's not like a terrible loss. Average win, and then the 2 losses. So Conor has 1. Nate at 70. I'm trying to like in my head work that one out. Maybe because it was way out of Conor's weight class. That's not a great win. It's a good win. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 2, 3 great wins and then 3 good wins for Conor. So his resume is better than Khabib's, but his performances are not. So that's kind of like where it's a little tougher. Conor took more risks, for sure. Yeah, Eddie gave Justin his first L. That's what I'm saying. Great wins for Conor. Eddie Aldo, Chad. Because Chad at that time was a motherfucker as well. On short notice. Good wins, Holloway, Poirier, Diaz 2. That's what I think.
Not rate them.
GSP stays at 2. Let's show the number 4 spot. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, probably the greatest flyweight fighter of all time.
Japanese Johnson. Demetrius is Japanese. I don't know whether you know
What?
that. Did you know that? Demetrius Japanese Johnson. Look,
What is he? Is he talking about because Demetrius went to 1 championship? Japanese Johnson. Oh, Japan. I need to make that a sound. Fucking hell. The one-liners are crazy. It's out of nowhere.
I put him above Khabib and I put him above George.
Why would you put him above George?
Body of work, finishes, motoring through the weight divisions, speed, IQ. He's more tools in the kit. He's more tools in the kit.
I can agree that DJ has all the things that Conor just said better than George. But then again, it's I don't want to call it smaller man bias. Wait, what is happening, guys? Hold on. People are putting addresses in chat. If anybody starts doing that again, I don't have any mods in here, but I'll ban you personally. Can we just not act our ages, unless you are underage, and then act like an adult? Holy, dude, what are we doing? Goodness gracious. I got to freaking play teacher for y'all? Come on, guys. What I was going to say is, DJ has all these different skills that, I mean, George was multifaceted as well. He had great takedowns, was taking down the Canadian wrestling team, dude. George St. Pierre had such good takedowns, he was taking them down. His jab was insane. He had a Taekwondo background, was it Taekwondo or karate? I'm not sure, but he had great kicks as well. His spinning back kick was nasty. It's the little man bias type of thing, though, or the big man bias. It's very difficult to look at what George did at 170 and then at 185 and compare it to 125-pound men fighting. And I don't even mean that to be controversial. It's just, who did you fight? How tough was it relative to your weight? Were the guys that DJ beat anywhere near the guys that George beat? Weight and all. It's always tough. But the skill set DJ has is incredible. Had he been 170 pounds doing that, 185 pounds doing that, bro, greatest of all time. And that's why my mind goes there. So I don't mind him putting him above George, though.
Okay. So
the defenses.
Demetrius Johnson moves up. Khabib continues to slide down. We get to our number 5 spot. Amanda Nunes, the greatest woman fighter of all time, in our opinion. What do you think?
Hot take time. I don't think there should be a top 10 in the UFC that includes any women. I'll be honest. If we're talking skills and not just pure pay-per-view selling ability, I don't think there should be a woman in the top 10 at all. It's just misogynistic. You can't compare the skill levels of women's MMA to men's MMA. It's not even fucking close. It's not. Hate me in the comments, but Amanda Nunes shouldn't be 5. She shouldn't be 10. She probably shouldn't be in the top 15 or 20. I'm sorry.
Sensational fighter. Exciting, dangerous, and game. Some of these boys here are not game. That's a game woman.
Do you rate her
She is
above
game.
Khabib?
Yeah, I do. Jewel.
He said, oh, wrong screen. I got to show y'all this.
Dangerous and game. Some of these boys here are not game. That's a game woman.
Do you rate her above Khabib?
Yeah, I do. Jewel weight champion.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I will then, Amanda.
That's crazy. He said, yeah, Amanda Nunes is better than Khabib. It's better. And again, you could argue that Amanda Nunes is better in her specific side of MMA. She's done more in women's MMA than Khabib. But if we're just blank ranking and saying best of all time, drop the women's, drop the men's, you just can't do this. You can't do this. You just can't. Someone said Amanda would beat Habib's ass. This the type of hater I aspire to be. Facts, dude. He's just doing it to troll at this point. And it's kind of more extra troll because didn't Habib say, like, no women should be fighting MMA? So he's, like, double trolling, like, L misogyny also. She's better than you. And to be fair to Amanda, she is a 2-weight world champ. She did try to fight and did fight everybody and knocked out everybody. Oof. She is vicious, but she is one of one in women's MMA, right? Amanda Nunes would beat the fuck out of some guys, but not some guys in the UFC. You know what I'm saying?
She moves up. So this is your top 5. We'll get back
This is
to
not
them.
my top 5. This is your top 5.
This is our combined top 5. This is our reworked top 5. We talked a little bit just now about Max Holloway. July 11th, your return to the sport, which I think everybody's really excited about. But talk about...
Yes, Amanda is the best women's MMA fighter ever. Someone asked that in chat. Is Amanda the best women's MMA fighter ever? Point blank, period. Not even a fucking question she is. The wins that she has, hold on, let me rattle them off because they are the top names in the industry, mate. And again, how about this? I don't know that she will, but if she comes back and beats Kayla Harrison, there's no question ever. Like, even if she loses to Kayla Harrison, to me, she's the best ever. Because this Amanda's not really focused, not been in the game, not taking fights. But if she beats Kayla, bro, GG, wrap it up, it's over with. She has beaten. Now, again, you can argue about the Valentina fight. You can argue about it. But she has beaten, the second one, I should say, Valentina Shevchenko twice. She has beaten Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm, Cyborg. She beat the girl that took the belt off her in Juliana Pena. Beat the shit out of her that second time around. She beat Jermaine Durandame. She beat Misha Tate. Literally everybody that she could have beaten, dude. You can argue about the second Valentina one. You can argue about it. But when you have the head-to-head 2-0, that's the best women's fighter to ever live. Amanda, my wifey, buddy, I think you might be, someone lied to you.
Also, moving back to welterweight, how the training has been different, how the preparation has been different, fighting in this different way, especially as it being your return fight.
You see, this is where I have the advantage. Holloway has never faced a man at 170 pounds. He's never fought himself at 170 pounds. There's adjustments.
Max never fought himself at 170, dude. That's crazy. Max never had the mirror match against himself at 170. Sometimes Conor, I know what he's trying to say. Max hasn't fought at 170. But he said the way he said it was Max never fought himself.
A man at 170 pounds. He's never fought himself at 170 pounds. There's adjustments to make, and I learned that firsthand in the fire. In my fight when I was UFC featherweight world champion, 145 pounds, fighting for the 155-pound world title, where the champion pulled out on me, and I was left with no option but to face a 170-pound man, 145-pound champion to 170. So I had adjustments to make, and it only was after that I learned the adjustments, the ability of the opponent to absorb the shots, the carrying the weight of yourself. Holloway's not experienced this, and I plan to take full advantage of it.
It's a good point, and Conor goes back to this. We're gonna listen to his media day in a second. It's the way he puts emphasis on random words ever since. It is. It's like the middle part of his sentence. He doesn't even say the word. It just comes out of his body. I was already there. 145 pounds. It's like it jumps out of him. But this is a good point Conor makes about, adjusting and all that. I think that Conor is going to try, and this is my big spoiler alert here, I think Conor's going to try to grapple pretty, not heavily, but more so than we think in this fight. And we'll go to his media day to kind of like back this up. I think that he's going to wrestle Max more than most people think. And he's going to really test, honestly, I know it sounds crazy, test Max's ability to defend grappling because he saw Charles eat him up with it, but also maybe some of the gas tank in the grappling stuff. How much can you, or do you, want to get up off the ground? If Conor McGregor, of all people, takes you down or whatever. I don't know that he's going to be successful doing it, But the way he's talked about, like, testing Max at 170 and is Conor going to test his gas tank by striking with him? You know? Is Conor going to test his gas tank by absorbing shots? I highly doubt it. What would Conor do to test how Max carries the weight at 170 other than grapple him? Clinch with him more. Maybe even take him down. I think that there's some hidden coded messages in what Conor's been saying all week about this complete MMA package, about, you know, well, like I said, we'll get into his media day stuff in a second. That really lends me to believe he's going to take this fight in multiple different facets. I think he's going to wrestle. He might wrestle early, too, and then come back to strike. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm also not Conor.
What are your thoughts on Justin pulling out what many thought was the upset against Ilya?
I saw it as it went. I saw both the co-main and the main. I saw the underdogs being troublesome, and that they were. So it was not a surprise to me.
So now, as the game goes, we're going to go to our
I wish he would ask more about that 155 title fight.
number 10 and number 9 pick and work our way up. The 10th best fighter in UFC history, Daniel Cormier. And our 9 spots, Alexander Volkanovski.
That's crazy. Cormier should be higher than 10, right? Cormier should be higher than 10.
It's just a no for me on Volkanovski. Look,
So
whatever.
So
Yeah,
DC,
I would DC is above Volk.
Yeah.
That's what
DC 's
DC said, yeah.
DC is above Volk. I have
agree.
to have a little think on DC. Sometimes I'm like, and then sometimes I'm like, You know, so I'd have to have a little think on him.
What's your immediate thoughts when you say that you think DC is above Volk? Like, what pushes you in that direction?
He's gone through the weights. He's gone through the promotions. He's a multi-promotion world champion, as am I.
Yep.
A multi-weight world champion, as am I.
Yep.
It's a decent style he's got. You know, this another thing, we'll be seeing these number 1 featherweight of all time and Holloway, these guys that I beat Aldo. I beat these guys at fucking featherweight. This is the type of shit I'm dealing with. Not dealing with. I mean, this makes me fire stick to the fucking mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you get me? Like, what I'm saying? I beat these guys.
What did he say?
The shit I'm dealing with. Not dealing with. I mean, this makes me fire stick to the fucking mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you get me? Like, what I'm saying? I beat these guys at this weight. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
For starters, I put my big paws in their face and mauled them.
The thing with Conor is he's always had this, like, kind of, and I don't want to call it resentment because I don't know what it is, but maybe, like, I think it's the fact that, like, he's kind of talking about people look at Alexander Volkanovski like he's the best 145-pound champion or 145-pounder that's ever lived. And to be honest, that's probably the truth. He beat Aldo, beat Mendez, beat Max, beat everybody essentially but Ilya, lost the belt to Ilya. Ilya moves up, gets the belt back. Did it dominantly, too, with finishes, almost beat Islam at 55. You can't really give him an almost, but you get what I'm saying. So I think that irks Conor again. The way he's ranking is like he's ranking them against himself. You know what I'm saying? He's ranking them against him, and he thinks he's number 1, so having Alex on the list and not having Conor to him is disrespectful. Now, we have to talk about DC. Having DC at 10 is disrespectful. This is like Conor said, and Conor was cooking, multi-promotion world champion, multi-division world champion, not to mention, I mean, it has nothing to do with MMA, but Olympic wrestler. He had the who's who on his resume at light heavyweight outside of John Jones, and then lost the belt to Jones. Jones gets popped, gets the belt back, defends the belt more, goes to heavyweight, beats Stipe. Yes, Stipe beat him, but the accomplishments cannot be overstated. DC got into MMA when he was like in his late 20s. He was doing all this in his 30s, dude. This is the same reason I think Anderson Silva should be top 3. Anderson Silva's prime was probably, arguably, before he got to the UFC. You know what I mean? I didn't say Aldo was in his prime when Volk beat him, but he beat him. So you have to put him on the resume. I didn't say that that Aldo was prime when Volk beat him, but he beat him. Conor beat prime Volk, but he didn't beat prime Max. Alex beat prime Max 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is a little bit of a round robin there. But the fact that he beat him 3 times is crazy, no? But anyway, I think DC over Volk is the answer there. DC, a little bit of bias. He's one of my favorite fighters ever.
And yet they're trying to be put above me. It is what it is. It's, I suppose, a bit of banter. It's a bit of fun.
Well, no, look, DC, okay, so we'll put DC above Volk. DC definitely has a very strong resume.
DC succumbed to his pain also. He went out in defeats. He got beat by Miocic twice. Your exit of the game and your current shape and state is important in this list also. It is.
No, it isn't, dude. You can't say DC is fat now, so he doesn't belong in the top 10 all time. You can't make an argument that the dude is retired and fat as shit, and now he doesn't belong. That's some crazy shit, bro. That is some crazy shit. You can't say that. He said, the way you went out in your current shape. Why is Conor getting so upset about the way guys went out on a loss? Conor, at this point, we'll see what happens Saturday, but he is out. He's been out on a loss for the last 5 years. What are you talking about? I know. What are you, like, people that what about Big George Foreman? What about, this is boxing, but like, what about these guys that have passed on? Are they not top because they're not still around? Ali. Like, imagine Conor's like, Ali, you got Parkinson's, so you're out of the discussion. What? Like, bro, what are you talking about? Someone asked in the chat, do I think Prime Conor beats Prime Volk? Fuck, man, I don't know. Would be a very fun matchup. Conor at 45 was different, man. The reason Conor was so good at 45 and why a lot of people had trouble with him. Now, listen, his wrestling wasn't great. His grappling wasn't great. Maybe Volk can take advantage a little bit there, but his striking at 45, his creativity, he was a big 45er too. Again, 5'9", doesn't seem like a big dude, but he was, for that weight class, a bigger guy. And like Max didn't have a ton of power in his hands at 45 like Conor did, so if Conor touched him with the left hand at 45, man, I don't know. I think that's honestly, if we were talking about the round robin thing earlier, how, Volk matches up really well against all these different guys. I don't think Volk matches up the same way that he does with some of these other guys with Conor at 45. I think Volk against Conor at 45 is a tougher matchup for Volk than anybody that Volk fought at 45. Predominantly boxing power from Conor. Yes, the kicks were important, but it was more so, how do I get you onto that left hand? And he was so bouncy. And again, he was like, he had a chin on him at 45 too. Like, Chad hit him with big shots, couldn't hurt him. Max hit him with stuff in their fight, couldn't hurt him. Like, he was different at that weight. That was the bet. That was the most. It wasn't Conor's natural weight class, which is maybe why he was so much better there. He was a bit of I wouldn't say a weight bully, but he was a bit too big for that weight class, but his power just rang through. So I don't know. It'd be an interesting fight. Volk could definitely, that city kickboxing, like all the different, like touch, like not just volume, but like precision technique. It'd be a lot to deal with, but if there was any time you stayed in the pocket for longer than you should with a 145-pound Conor McGregor, he was going to put you down, So I don't know. I think it'd be a tougher fight than people believe.
The box. This is to the grave,
right,
with these men and me.
But look,
it's hard to list. It's hard to list with that.
To DC's credit, he beat Stipe in his prime. He did lose to a more weathered version of him, but he beat him in his prime.
Should have kept going. Should have kept going.
Yeah. Again, what is this should have kept going? Daniel Cormier was like 40-something at the time. What are we doing? Should have kept going, dog. I think he was like 41. Nah, it's over. It's over. You gotta go until you're 55, mate. 55, and then we'll see. We'll see who's around in 60, mate. Retirement age.
Pain. What's pain? Pain is a sign to keep going. Fuck this. Keep going.
We will keep going. DC moves up, so now he's at 9, and let's reveal our 8th spot, Islam Makhachev. Some might say the current
That's crazy.
best.
To have Islam at 8 is kind of crazy to me, too. I think he needs to be a little higher than that. He definitely needs to be above those two.
Active.
He's above Habib. He is above Habib. Finishes, body of work, both divisions.
Hey.
For sure he is.
But look, many of
Still in it, still at it.
Body
but
of
they're
work-
all, there's a little bit of, people are impressionable. Talking about, like, they're trying to get...
I agree with Conor on this. Islam is 100%, in my opinion, above Habib. And it ain't just because, like, people will say, oh, Habib never lost a round or he didn't lose rounds to these guys. And I get it. Habib beat a better version of Dustin more dominantly than Islam did. But to me, a win's a win. And yes, how you do it matters sometimes. But, dude, Islam at 55 and at 70 has done more than Habib has done. I think that's a great take from Conor.
Taunting to him to get out of it. There's a lot left in that boy. There's a lot left in that boy. And he should recognise that and keep going. I have him above both his teammates there in Cormier and thing.
Okay, so Islam will stay where he is. Move up
Slightly above, maybe slightly above Daniel is Islam. Maybe. By the way, you know what's interesting about this whole thing? Anybody else find it interesting how much credit he gives Islam? How much, like, honestly, it feels like he respects Islam more so than he respects Habib at all. Cormier and Ting, is that what he said?
In Cormier and thing.
Okay.
I have him above both his teammates there in Cormier and thing.
Cormier and Ting. It is shocking because, remember, the night it all went down, Habib wins, jumps the cage, must fly like eagle. Attacks Dylan Dennis. Who was the first one in the cage hitting Conor in the back or the side of the head? It was Islam. Islam jumped the cage, hit him on the side of the head, and it feels like their beef is like dissipated over the years and that Conor has respect for him. And someone said it in chat. Also, Islam kind of speaks well of Conor too. It's really interesting because I know Habib doesn't like anyone speaking well of Conor. I find it super fascinating that the one he can't let go, I mean, I know why, it's the loss, but the one he can't let go of is Habib. He'll respect everybody else around him.
Okay, so Islam will stay where...
It's going to be bad.
Tell him, come on.
Get a couple of
Because it's going to be bad.
Bro, just
It's going to be bad, man.
Where he is. Move up to our 7th spot, Valentina Shevchenko.
Oh, she is outstanding, that woman. That woman is an outstanding combatant. And again...
Why did he say it like that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's outstanding, that woman. Yes. Jesus, Conor, relax, buddy. Again, I'll refer to my earlier statement. I don't think any of the women should be in the top 10. I'm sorry. I just don't. I can't do it.
We look at where are they now? Where are they now? Amanda may have beaten her. But I'd probably rate her above Amanda.
Wow.
Really?
I'm telling you, boys.
Really?
I'm telling you, boys, where are they now? Oh, she's good. She's dynamite, in fact. I'd love them to see her get the second crown.
So for right now, then we'll keep it as it is. So Valentina will stay at 7.
Do I put DC above Habib? I think it's neck and neck. Again, Habib far more dominant, but DC took more tough challenges. DC fought above his weight. You can argue that. He probably should have been heavyweight. DC took, honestly, more stylistically challenging matches. DC was always at a disadvantage in terms of his size, meaning his height, really. But mostly in terms of his size, even at light heavyweight, he was always giving up reach. He was always giving up height. And then again, some of the wins. Habib just doesn't have a great resume in terms of and everybody even before the last 3, but the resume in the UFC is not great. Cormier's resume in the UFC is pretty damn good. The wins and the losses. So, the 2-time champ, knocking out Stipe, Rumble, Gustafsson. We'll look at let's actually look at everybody on DC's resume because it goes outside of the UFC too, man. And it's hard for me to get over that the time that Khabib spent outside of the UFC and some of those wins, dude. You almost have to like act like Khabib didn't have a career before he got into the UFC. That's how bad his resume is outside of the UFC. But look at DC's resume, right? Even before we get in to the UFC, you got Josh Barnett, right? You have Frank Mir, Big Country, Hendo. Yes, the loss to Jones, but this Rumble Johnson right here, I'm telling you, this guy right here was a motherfucker, brother. Rest in peace to Rumble Johnson, but he was a bad dude. Yeah, Bigfoot Silva, true, yes. I didn't want to mention Bigfoot because I don't think he's in the same class as some of these names, but at the time, Bigfoot, really good win. But Rumble Johnson, huge win there by submission. You get Gustafsson, tough fight, but the dub. And again, Gustafsson was nasty at that time. The Silva fight was short notice. I'll give him the win because it was still a good win, but short notice. Silva, I think, popped for PEDs at that point as well. Then the Rumble Johnson win again after Rumble went on another tear. Ozdemir, I don't really care about. But then the Stipe win. These are legitimate tough fights for him, and all really good wins, dude. The Jones losses, obviously, in one no contest, but the Jones losses, I always consider them losses, are the thing that kind of holds him back, and then the Stipe losses, yeah. But the Prime win over Stipe, the 2 wins over Rumble, the win over Gustafsson, the win over Hendo. Honestly, the Frank Mir win to me more than the Josh Barnett or Bigfoot Silva. There's just really, really, really good wins on there. Ozdemir, most underrated of all time? I mean, not really, bro. Not really. Although Ozdemir does have some pretty good losses. Damn, he has some really good losses. Krylov's not, that's probably the standout one, but lost to Ankalaev, champ, lost to Olberg, champ, lost to Prohaska, champ, lost to Reyes. That's not a great loss, and neither is Anthony Smith, but there's a lot of these that are just champ losses. That's kind of crazy. Good point, Chatter.
Islam will stay at 8. And there's only one spot left to reveal after that. On number 6, I mean, there's one name we haven't even brought up yet. I think you might know who it is. Our number 6 spot, Anderson the Spider Silva, who some might say is too low.
100%. Conor, in this moment, was thinking that this guy was talking about him. I think that's so funny. Conor's like...
There's one name we haven't even brought up yet. I think you might...
He's talking about me. This motherfucker better be talking about me, yeah? The number 6 fighter. The number 6... You're going to talk to me that way? Me? After all we've been through. He 100% thought he was talking about him.
Know who it is. Our number 6 spot, Anderson the Spider Silva, who some might say is too low. Some might have him top 3, top 5. What do you think? Arguably the greatest middleweight fighter of all time. Has some great losses and wins.
He's probably number 1.
Really?
Yeah. Body of work is outstanding. The stoppages, the excitement, the thrill of the man.
Yep.
And he's still going.
So for you, it's really power that defines who's the best, because
it's not even power. It's you have to have
dominance.
He's up elbow knockout.
Yeah, it's for Conor. It's clearly a stylistic thing. It's the most not even the most flashy, but the most, in his mind, ferocious. The most consequential. The most devastating. The most finite finishers are the ones that he favors. He doesn't really care about just wins and losses. He cares about how you win. And also longevity. But I would put Anderson at number 2 over GSP. I would definitely do that.
He's gone like that bang in both guys' faces. He has some amount of KOs, some amount of finishes on his record. I rate Anderson and I put him up there. They're all good fighters.
So you would want to fight Jones. Would you want to fight Silva?
I was rumored to fight Silva, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was discussions ongoing.
What weight were y'all gonna...
No, what? No, when was there ever discussions about Conor McGregor and Anderson Silva fighting? That's bullshit. I don't remember any point in time where that was even remotely talked about. There was talks of GSP and Silva. There was talks of Roy Jones Jr. and Silva happening. But, yo, Stav, I appreciate you being in here, dude. I don't know what happened with you in the chat today, but have a good one. I don't remember any point in time where Conor said, or Dana said, or the Fertittas said, or anybody said, yeah, Conor and Silva's going to happen.
Me that.
I think there was talk maybe 170 pounds. Maybe it
Interesting.
would have been a catch
Really?
between 170 185.
Now that would be something.
What time frame would that have been? 170 or 185? What time frame would that have been? Conor and Silva. I don't remember. 2016? No, bro. When? It would have had to have been like 2016. Commie Wade back at it. What the fuck? It had to have been 2015, 2016 when Conor was rumored to fight everybody. After the Cowboy fight? Okay, so I guess 2020. Damn.
Yeah, it would.
How do you think you would fare in that type of matchup?
In this day and age, or any day and age, I'd fare well.
Okay. So Anderson Silva will stay at 6. Valentina Shevchenko will stay at 7.
You know, there you go.
So now this is your new re-ranked top 10. Give me your initial thoughts before we go into the power-ups.
It's not my top 10. So these are all time, you understand?
Best
a lot
all
of these
time.
guys are retired and gone. You understand? So there's no way you can have this list without having like a Hickson or a Boss Ruin or, you know, guys that have...
I mean, this is a UFC all-time list. He's looking at it as an MMA all-time list. And ball knowledge from Conor, that's true. I don't know, though, because tell me what you guys think. I was going to say, Boss Rutan. Tell me what you guys think about like trying to blend the older generation with the newer, generation of fighting. Because would Boss Rutan survive in today's MMA? Let's be honest. Would Rickson Gracie survive in today's MMA? Let's be honest. I don't know. To be honest, Rickson was a bad motherfucker, man. Yo, Kyle, appreciate you. Rickson was a bad dude, and so was Boss Rutan. But I just think the level of the game has gone up so much. But Rickson, again, you're talking about stylistic masters. The way we regard Khabib is the way we would have regarded Rickson had he come around in the same time. You guys have seen Kron Gracie and maybe have gotten confused as to what the Gracie name really represented. Like Kron Gracie, no disrespect to him, great jiu-jitsu practitioner, terrible fighter in terms of like being able to bring that to the UFC. Just wanted to pull a guard. Rickson was a bad dude. Smash you up type of dude, not just jiu-jitsu. Top game, raining down shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if they would have blended into today's day and age the same way that, we always have the conversations about like, could some of the old guard of basketball survive in today's game? Football the same? I don't know. Would you say the same about boxing? This is what I'm saying. Boxing, I don't know that it is comparable because that is a limited skill set sport where the variety of the sport, you can say the skills evolve, but you never really know for sure. Like Marvin Hagler, I think, could fight in today's game. I think Oscar De La Hoya could fight and be great in today's boxing. I think George Foreman would run the heavyweight division today. Outside of maybe Usyk. Him and Usyk, that'd be fun. But you could even say Mike Tyson, prime Mike. How would he do in today's game? You know what I mean? But MMA and the way it's developed and the way it's evolved over just the last 20 years, not even talking about, into the 90s and 80s, it's still fairly new. You know what'll probably happen is we'll look back on the fighters of this era when we're old and gray in our 50s and 60s, and we'll go, hey, could a Conor McGregor, could a Khabib Nurmagomedov, could a Tom Aspinall, could some of these guys hang with today's, and it would be a more valid conversation to have, because up until 10 years ago, the level of MMA hadn't really blended yet, So I don't know about including Boss Rutan, but these are, in Conor's mind, these are more just legends. I wouldn't put Chuck Liddell in the top 10 You know what I'm saying? Like Chuck Liddell, I think, would get smoked at light heavyweight now. Tito Ortiz, probably the same. So it's very difficult.
Done it back, or a Hoist even, there's no
Hoist would get smoked.
way you can have this list. This is a recency. This is bullshit, this list, to be honest.
Conor just shits on the whole list he sat there making.
A little bit. Look, it's a bit of fun having back and forth. It's not the real deal list. Let me go.
Okay, so let's get into the power-up. So now you can move people around more freely. The first power-up being overrated, where you can put someone who's in the top 5 and bring him to the bottom 5. So who in the top 5, if any, do you think should move somewhere into the bottom 5?
Khabib, for sure.
You had to know, dude.
Okay, so Khabib, where would you put him in the bottom?
Put him at
9. 9. Okay,
Oh, he puts him above Volk, okay.
Volkanowski. Really that low, though?
Yeah. My man, he's had 3 fights, and he's had 13 fights, no finishes. I don't rate him at all, and he's gone.
He said no finishes. Conor got finished by him. What is he talking about? He said he had 13 fights, no finishes, and Khabib finished him. He fucking kills me, man. He's just completely put it. He's put it out of his mind. He's like, fuck it, I don't care. Fuck it, it's gone. It never happened. He finished Conor. He finished Justin, and he finished Dustin. Oh, he's the best, man. He's the best. He just makes it up as he goes. Whoo! Now, again, I don't disagree with Conor on where on the list he's at, but his reasoning for it's insane.
He's not done enough. He's not done enough.
You might have to get him out of retirement. We might need that.
Listen, there's nowhere I am. So there you go.
Okay.
Conor would absolutely. Can you imagine if Conor somehow beats Max, right? Come Saturday, gets on the mic. Hey, you little scurrying rat. Oh, I'm still waiting for you. I don't want to fight you, little brother, mate. It's me and it's you. Khabib wouldn't do it, but it'd be the greatest thing, bro. It'd be the fucking greatest thing ever if he did. And that fight happened. That would be the only fight that would make Khabib come back. It'd be the only one. And Conor's tried everything in the book to get him to come back. He's insulted his family. He's insulted his dead father. He's insulted pretty much everything about Khabib and his entire religion, country, family, friends, everything. And Khabib hasn't done it, so there's no way he's doing it now. There's no way he can get him out.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Chandler sat in the ringside cuck seat. They just panned to Chandler. Conor's supposed to call out Chandler. Chandler's just sitting there. A mic? Can I get a mic? No? Mic? Okay. Conor McGregor!
So next is hot swap, which is kind of what you were referring to. You could swap 2 people on the list now. So who would you switch places with? You could switch 2 people's positions.
Demetrius and George.
Demetrius and George. Okay, so
I thought he was going to put Anderson Silva at number 1.
You really rate DJ number 2 all time.
This is what I am left with.
Okay. And now the final power-up, which is the one that I think you've been waiting for the most, big snub where you can bring somebody into the top 10 who wasn't originally in the top 10.
I'm bringing the Mac Daddy, baby. I'm home. The Mac is back.
So we have a larger list of names.
The Mac Daddy, baby. Done it all. All weights. Triple KOs. Knockouts in featherweight. Knockouts in lightweight. Knockouts in welterweight. The only UFC combatant to do so. The first double champ. And the man with all the records in the game. And the man that's still here despite all the tribulations and all the trauma and all the attacks on my will and my character. I still stand here strong and returning with the biggest gate and the biggest excitement the game has seen in years. Put the Mac in there, baby.
Okay.
He keeps acting like he's going to smoke that cigar, dude. Go ahead and smoke it, Conor. Go ahead. Smoke it. Smoke it. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, where do you put yourself?
Over a hand.
He did.
Over a hand. Number 1. Australia.
Really?
Really.
Over
Man,
John?
listen. See this shit? You're gonna see.
Okay, let's look at the list now that Conor's gotten to tweak it a little bit. It's absolutely insane to put Conor at number 1, but that's, what fighter wouldn't, right? Let's look at the rest of it. Conor aside, let's do a little cover up of Conor here. Conor aside, I'd say this list isn't bad, except for the fact that they had to include Amanda Nunes and Valentina. You take Amanda now and Valentina out, I would say Anderson goes to 2, then George. Yeah, Anderson. So it's John, Anderson, George, Demetrius. Number 5 would be crazy. I almost want to put Islam at number 5 already. Pound for pound. Pound for pound, mate. Explain then why I take the women out, because I don't rate women's MMA anywhere near men's MMA. And we're talking about a totality of best fighters of all time, not best women's fighters of all time. Realistically, you shouldn't compare the sexes. You just shouldn't do it, because it's never going to go in the favor of the women. Their accomplishments in their own divisions make sense, but you can't compare them to the accomplishments the men have had in the UFC, or the advancement of the men's game in the UFC. On top of the fact that you can't, if you really want to do the comparison, you would have to compare them fighting at similar weights. And what champion is Amanda Nunes beating at 135 pounds in the history of the sport on the men's side? It's not happening, right? So it's like, what are we talking? MMA plow ratings for women. Okay, dude. You just can't do it. You just can't. But you take those 2 out. I'd put Islam at maybe at 5. Right? Because Anderson's already up here now. Where does Stipe go in that conversation? Because he's one of the greatest heavyweights ever. Stipe, I feel like, has got to be in the top 10. He's got a great resume. But then you got Francis. Usman should be in there. I agree. Do you go maybe Islam 5? Cormier 6, Usman 7. Oh, fuck. Then you got Izzy in there as well. I don't know if I put Usman 7. Usman might be 10. Oliveira, fuck yeah. Stipe over Cormier? Nah. I don't know about that. Poatan, fuck me. I forgot about Poatan as well. Poatan's got to be in there. 2-division world champ. That's a tough, man. That part is tough. Someone said Gregor Gillespie. All right, bro. Anyway, let's keep going with this. Gregor Gillespie. But I like some of this list. I think you got to take the women out, though. Sorry. Hashtag not sexist.
You're going to fucking see. The game ain't done yet. You understand? The game ain't done yet. So you'll see. And I love it. Rather than getting in and melting, I'm going to show you. So you can put me in there and leave it to me and I'll show you.
Well, there we have it. Conor McGregor 1.
Now, do you want me to do the rest of it? Well, Anderson,
there you go.
2.
Yeah, so give me
John, 3.
Okay.
Demetrius, 4. Shevchenko, 5. Nunes, 6. Makachev, 7.
He had me here. This shit, what are we doing? Makachev here, I'm kind of with it. Outside of I would mix some things up here.
Cormier, 8. Habib, 9. And Volkanovski, where's he still in? He's gone now.
But he would be your 10.
Volkanovski's above Habib. I'm sorry. He is. He's above Habib. No Poatan, kind of crazy to me. No Stipe, kind of crazy to me. No Izzy, kind of crazy to me. But it's a top 10 list, so it's tough to put everybody there.
You bumped him out. He's no longer on the list.
Yeah, no George, by the way, either. Where the fuck is George St. Pierre?
But
Volkanovski? Yeah, well, there you go. I don't think so either. Why?
I mean, Volkanovski, I think, has an impressive resume, strength of schedule, And by the time he became UFC champion, he had only lost.
Recency bias going on here.
But by the time he became UFC champion, he had only lost 3 rounds, which is like that's a pretty crazy stat, I'd say, to have.
By the time I became UFC champion, I done it inside of a round. If you add them all up, I done it inside 1 round.
But also to
What does that even mean? What does that mean? Is he saying he had beaten everybody before he became a champ inside a round? That's not true.
Lose a round, lose 3 rounds. I done it in 1 round. I done the whole body of work in 1 fucking round. I done Aldo and Cerrone inside of a minute.
But look, to folks' credit,
The Mac math. His time in the cage, well, if you're saying round, like time in the cage total, it still is more than 5 minutes because he went 15 minutes with Max Holloway. That doesn't make any sense.
also the few losses he has had are to like Islam, to Ilya, very impressive fighters.
Yeah, so they're all somewhere. They're all around about. They're all in the mix.
The goal, look,
They're all in the bag, yeah?
I just wanted you to get some rationale from us because I know when you first saw the list.
It's all a bit of banter. We can all go back and forth. You just want to have a bit of fun, no problem.
So this
Now, when are we doing the mixtapes? Let's talk music. Now, let's talk music. Put on a fucking few tunes. I'm here to half an hour. This is going on long.
put some I just want you
Put
to
some Biggie on, baby. The Mac is back. The Mac is back in New York, baby.
As long as you
get the Biggie on. Get Biggie on.
So that's your new top 10. I hope you now have a little more.
Oh, fuck. He is animated. This is one of the best Conors I've seen interview-wise in a while, dude. This is awesome.
More understanding and possibly a little respect for where we were coming from when we were ranking these people initially.
It's all love. Do you know what? I'll follow you back now, yeah?
And that's all I wanted. And that's
where's my
all
guy?
I wanted.
See my Air Mags?
I saw it.
Who else is doing that? I'm not pad walking the fucking Nike Air Mags.
Yeah, that was crazy. Those are what? How much? Those are massive. I'm not a shoe guy like that, but that's a crazy. Like those are $1,000 shoes or some shit, right?
They're actually nice.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Joe
Put the
LaPuma is in the
lights on,
building.
lovely
If y'all
shots.
couldn't
Have the
tell.
UFC cameras there. And
Well, look, there you
have
have it.
boxing boots now, the Air Max. You don't have another pair in case they get a bit dirty, do you? How much did he...
$20,000 shoes? Good Lord. Good Lord. I mean, listen, this is why he carries around a fucking fake cigar, or a real cigar, but never lights it, because he's spending $20,000 on shoes.
20K? Hold on, we're gonna 20K, yeah?
Yeah, you gotta like. Do you have a lighter? You gotta like the cigar. I feel like at least once.
Nah, I can't.
You saving it.
I have a belt, you know, I need to be careful and,
Focused.
you know yourself, so I respect my team and their efforts that they put into me, and I respect the fans. Sometimes I might not have, you know what I mean? I had to look at myself in the mirror and forgive myself. You know what I mean? For falling into the pitfalls of fame and certain things that happened. I won't do it again. So this, I'll chew on it. After the fight, we can blaze it up, my man, yeah? After the fight, we'll blaze it up, right?
Say less. Is there anything left you want to leave the people? July 11th, you, Max Holloway 2, your re-rank list. What's left to say?
McGregor loves Complex. I love what you guys do here. They're all across the board. A great crowd in the culture, and I'm with you all the way. McGregor for Complex.
Whoa, clip it! And that's re-ranked for Complex. I'm Jordan Rose. That's Conor McGregor.
Hey, listen, this guy did a good job interviewing Conor. He got his energy up. He got Conor to come out of his shell a little bit, and then, he asked him some pretty good questions, too, talking about the rematches, everything else. Conor's list is absolute delusion and cope. It makes no sense, and it's just Conor seeing himself on top the way he always does. But it does give you a little mindset into how Conor thinks about this game, how he thinks about this fight with Max Holloway, and how he thinks about the rest of his career. That right there, I think, is a little eye-opening to what we're going to get on Saturday, but I got something even more so. Stay tuned. Another video coming out today. It's Conor McGregor's Media Day, where he goes off on not just Max Holloway, but Justin Gaethje and everybody that doubted him. Stay tuned. That'll be later today. What happens this Saturday? Don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out. All right, so now, guys, we are going to watch this Media Day. Now, someone said there's a video of Conor and the Crocs in his suit for Media Day. He's dressed like a racehorse owner. Can somebody Send me that clip. Somehow, some way. I need to see that. Conor McGregor Media Day. Where's it at? Where's she at? Let me refresh. Maybe we'll see it here. They said he's in his Crocs, standing there. Oh, they have the fit. Conor's got his fit on. We'll take a look at that in a second as well. Did an interview with TMZ Sports. Oh, yeah, there's a lot here, dude. There's a lot. We got a lot to get into. Okay, let's now go to Media Days. Nina drama interview should be dropping soon. Dude, are we going to do like 3 videos on Conor interviews? There's so much Conor content coming out. You streaming England game. Is it Saturday? England plays on Saturday? I do want to stream the England game. England versus Norway. What time is that game? Damn, Saturday at 2 p.m. We might as well just go live early on Saturday and just stay live throughout the entire thing. That's what we'll do. Wade has the rest of his vids for the week. No, dude, I got to get these out tomorrow because press conference is tomorrow. We got to get these out ASAP. Matter of fact, I'm going to freaking start transferring this to my editor now. W video, though, guys. Appreciate y'all. Oh, he's going to hate editing this one. That one's a long-ass video. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go back in and get locked in again. Let me get some water. I'll be right back. Holland dropping 4 nukes. Holy. Hey, baby. All right. Stand your base. Stand your fucking base, me. Okay. Let's now watch. Let me start this recording. All right, folks. Today is Conor McGregor's Media Day. As you're seeing this, obviously, it's press conference day. But just so everybody knows, I am live both for weigh-ins on Friday morning, official weigh-ins, and I am live Saturday for UFC McGregor versus Holloway 2, 329, July 11th. We're going crazy on the live stream. Make sure you guys come in and watch the fights here at the W.A.D.E Concept with me. But today, oh, I hear my dog. Hold on. Bubby, come on in. Come on. But you got to lay down. Where's your bone? Actually, I don't want to. Lay down. Hi, Bubby. Hi. I know. We're not playing, though. I know. You got to lay down. Hey, lay down. Good boy. Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Okay. Here. Down. Good boy. Right there. But today, we are taking a look at Conor McGregor's Media Day. He went off on a lot of things here. He talked about some, and I'll be honest, W reporters, because they asked him some questions that I did not think some of the UFC media, as useless as they usually are, were going to ask. Some of them asked about his sexual assault case. Some of them asked about his time out of the cage and some of the transgressions that have gone on, and some other things. Let's take a look. He goes off on Justin Gaethje in this sit down as well. But Conor McGregor Media Day, the Mac is back. And for all the people saying it doesn't feel necessarily like a Conor McGregor fight week, I think that's changing. And it's changing very quickly. Maybe it was the World Cup. Maybe it was other things. But now Conor is doing media. The hype is building. And let's see what he had to say at Media Day. The breakdown. Let's go.
5 years away from it. How good is it to be back, feet on the ground in Las Vegas, and be here for a fight week?
Hallelujah. The Mac is back.
Right away. Hallelujah. 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 Conor, you came out of the gate stumbling. We got to get the pronunciation right, dude. If we're going to go full religious arc, we got to get the pronunciation. It's hallelujah. Or Shamala Hamala for the way concept people.
Can I get a Mac Energy, please? Tristan, thank you so much. Hallelujah, baby.
He did it again.
Thank God. A beautiful day here in Las Vegas. This is the day the Lord has made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it. It's great to be back. Weight's on point. Body's on point. Mind sharper than ever. Plan is laid, set. And we're ready to go to war.
It feels like a McGregor fight week, but there was something new for this one. You have called yourself a belt many times in the past, and this week you finally got custom McGregor belts. What was it like seeing those in person, getting to throw them both over your shoulder?
Special to my heart.
Hold on, but we're going to actually take a look at that. I saw that on Twitter. Here, Bubby. You want to go? Go. Here, Mama. I saw this on Twitter. Conor did get gifted McGregor belts. Let's see if I can find them. There it is. Here, this is crazy. This is, I think, bad luck, to be honest with you. We're going to, hold on. Let me change this is my chat and you guys. That's my OneDrive. No, this is Conor getting his custom belts yesterday, which I don't know. I feel like this is a little weird. Why is Conor getting custom belts at all, number one? And number two, it's almost bad luck, even though Conor always does touch a belt before he fights a champion and somehow wins it. I don't like this.
It's about time. There's 8 UFC fighters who have secured their country's flag, their nation's flag, and the UFC belt, me being one of them. McGregor, Ireland. Bisping, the United Kingdom. Andrei Arlovski, Belarus. Joanna was Poland. Vos Rutten, Dutch. Canadian is Carlos Newt. Matt Coleman was the first. There you go.
Dude, Conor's history of like belt knowledge and really ball knowledge in combat sports is pretty damn impressive, man. It's pretty impressive listening to him. I didn't even know Carlos Newton was freaking Canadian.
Heavyweight, United States American champion, Marilla Bustamante, Brazil. There you go. That's a great accolade for those fighters, including myself, to have.
I gotta say, too, he looks fucking old, man. I'm sorry, he just does. He looks old as shit here, does he not? How old is Conor, by the way? What is he, 38? $37, dude. 37 years young. Ugh. Don't look great here, I'll be honest. Not trying to jinx anything, not trying to say anything. I'm just saying. Also, we're going to take a look at the Conor McGregor signature in just a second because it's fucking hilarious watching him sign posters. It's the most dog shit signature I've ever seen. But this worries me. Just like a lot of the stuff I saw in his, last couple of fights for Max specifically worries me. There's a lot of good there too. Like a lot of what Conor can do to Max is being overlooked and just thrown aside as, well, that happened when they were young and Max was a baby. Max hasn't changed a lot, and I think Conor knows that. Conor, on the other hand, has changed his style a ton, and I'm hoping he can get back to what he did so well back then and blend it with what this new power he says at 170, but this worries me, man.
And I'm the only one still here. I'm the last man standing, yeah? I'm the only one with a strap now. My country's flag is now strapped on the thing. I'm very happy with that, to have put my nation's flag on the Ultimate Fighting Championship world title. And you can only imagine if I'm so happy with that, how happy I am now to have this belt.
Okay, so those are his to take home. All right, not the biggest deal in the world. But anyway, that's what they were referring to.
The Ultimate Fighting Championship for the respect. And I love it. I'm going to go in and represent. I'm going to go in and represent the company and the McGregor name.
Forbidden green apple, dude. I got to try this Mac Energy. Do they sell it here in the U.S.? I don't know. Wait, Max Solar. That's not. Never mind. That's not what I was looking for. That is not what I was looking for. Okay, Mac Energy. They don't even have it in stores yet? Okay. Never mind. It's not even out yet. He's a genius, dude. He's a genius. Got me looking for it on stream. He's a genius. Of course you want Conor's liquids. Ew, dude. What the fuck?
Best of my ability. Awesome.
You have said repeatedly throughout this build-up that you are going to sun Max for the second time. Curious what you mean by that. What does sunning him look like in this fight, this rematch?
You know, I plan to contort Max's body into such uncomfortable positions and have my way with him. That's it.
Hey, yo.
Pause. Pause. Pause.
Pause. He wants to do what to Max Holloway? He said, now again, I told you guys in the last video, a bit of the mind games I think Conor is playing in this build-up. But this one's another level of freaky. He said he wants to contort Max's body and have his way with him. That's just an AO moment. But what I think he's trying to do, and I'm trying to figure out if he means it or not, I think he's trying to either do one of two things. He's telling the world that he's going to wrestle or grapple more with Max Holloway, or he's pulling the reverse psychology fuck you and saying, I want Max to think I'm going to grapple. I want Max to think I'm going to wrestle and contort his body and have his way with him.
Pause.
But there's a bit of a gamesmanship going on there. Someone said R. Kelly impressed. There's a bit of a gamesmanship going on, I think, with Conor there. I think that he's been very quiet in this build-up, so he could either be straight up telling Max, no, I'm going to wrestle you, dude. I'm going to show all my skills in MMA, or I want you to think I'm wrestling you, and here comes the fucking left hand. You can wrestle the orbital bone. You can wrestle this knuckle out of your orbital bone, mate. One of those two. You said Conor's new post on what? Twitter? We'll look at it after, but I want to make sure I got it here. You can wrestle this knuckle out of your orbital bone. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Is he the perfect guy for you to come back and rematch and fight for this return fight? Does he feel like the perfect person to stake your claim as I am back and I'm ready to compete at the highest level once again?
Max is a great Dan.
Claim as I am back.
I just realized
and I'm ready to compete.
He's like sniffing this drink, dude. Why is he like sniffing an energy drink like it's a fucking wine or a whiskey?
Highest level once again.
This dude is something else.
Max is a great dance partner, if you will, a great opponent.
The ketone smell.
He's a deep body of work inside the octagon. Fought many a man. It's a great opponent, a great event, great fight week, great international fight week. I'm very, very happy here.
Conor.
I'm very thankful.
Conor, money for you is like taking sand to a beach. It's not a problem, right?
Wait, you guys smell your drinks? You crack open an energy drink and you want to get a waft? You're like, let me smell that fucking cotton candy. Let me smell that nice, crisp aspartame. Like what?
But with
I've never
this
done
fight, all these fighters beforehand today are all tipping Max. Not this little man over here. He thinks you're an absolute moral. What do you say?
You know, nothing better than proving people wrong. People are entitled to their opinion. Some are valid. You know, there's some questions. Time out, injury, lifestyle, yada, yada, yada. I know. And your boy knows there. Fair play to him. And there you go. Let's go. We're going to go in Saturday night and shut them all up again. You know, the business is on the rise. The money is coming in. So get into this game, baby. We're rocking and rolling. The Mac is back.
Conor back here.
I mean, yeah, like everybody does have questions about Conor. We know this. Everybody has the same questions really about Conor. It's, did your lifestyle fuck up your fighting ability? I think the answer is really yes, but Has it taken every bit away from you? Has the injury taken the rest of it away from you? Have you realized who you're fighting and why make this decision? Why take this tough a fight coming back? And then also, again, the age, 37 years old, and not a young 37, a lived life 37. All of it matters. And also the game itself, MMA, has it passed him by? Has the evolution of the game passed him by? Has he been able to keep up to some degree? I don't know if there's ever been someone outside, George St. Pierre, but who else has been able to take off that much amount of time and come back and be successful? And not just, St. Pierre was one-off successful. Who's taken that amount of time off and come back and been multiple times successful? George Foreman did it in boxing, but there's not many, if ever, in MMA. John Jones didn't take 5 years out of the sport, 5 years straight like that. Did he? No, John didn't take that long. But John is the blueprint for in and out of the cage. But John had, 2.5 years? Was it 3? God dang. I'm looking. Hold on. I think it was 4. Was it really? February of 2020 to March of 2023. So 3 years. Wow. Yeah. Son of a bitch. But even then, yeah. That was big time because John did it and came back and won a belt. Now, it was at heavyweight. Do we need to put the asterisk by it because it was at heavyweight? But 5 years, though. 5 years. And by the way, this is 5 years after 2 fights, 3 fights, I guess, even though those were not in short succession, but after another 2-year layoff. So really, it's like a 7 or 8 year kind of layoff, no activity. It's crazy. Anyway, we continue.
Throughout your early part of your UFC run, and even 2016 was such a magical year, not just for you, but the sport, but you disrupted so much back then. And now you return 5 years later with the opportunity to disrupt everything again in multiple divisions. Do you feel that right now? Do you feel sort of that magic, almost like a
shake up the game, shake up the business for sure. Prove myself to myself. I am who I say I am. I am that I am.
I want to ask you one more question because you've been talking a lot about finding.
He does love that drink. He loves how. Oh, hi. You got to lay down if you're coming in here, Bubby. He loves that drink so much, he keeps picking it up and telling everybody how good it is in the mic.
That I am.
I want to ask you one more question because you've been talking a lot about finding religion and putting yourself in this spiritual place. And normally it takes a certain moment for that reflection to happen to kind of turn things around. Do you remember the moment where you felt like this is the need, like you had to get to the knees and rejoice and find that within yourself? Do you remember that moment where you kind of turned it all over?
You got to do deep internal work. It's not just it's many moments, even, if you will. It's not just one. It's a whole sequence of events and almost divine coincidences that just cannot be anything but the higher power. And I connected to it. I am not my body. I am not my feelings. I am not my thoughts. I am my soul. And my soul is connected to the highest power.
Conor.
Here's the thing. I believe that Conor believes that he is rededicated, and maybe he truly is rededicated himself to the Lord and finding a higher power. I don't like to be someone that dismisses it as grifting or dismisses it as you don't really mean what you say. The highest power or the highest powder? That's a good one. The highest powder. So I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if it's anytime I see fighters or anybody doing this, it usually means their heart is out of the sport, right? Now, there are certain people that when they're in their prime, like a Yoel Romero, who was the soldier of God, when they believe that they're fighting, they're on this earth to fight for the man above, and they don't really value their own like health and life because they're giving it all to the Lord anyway. Those motherfuckers are dangerous. Right? Those guys, you better, dude, when they're like in the interview before the fight and Joe Rogan standing there and they got that blank look on their face and this is for the man above. Only God can stop me. It's like, all right, bro, I don't want to fight that guy because he don't even value his own life. His own life means second to fighting for the Lord. Then I'm done. You won, bro. I'm out. But when you have people that like secondarily do it, you know, back half of their career, talking about, you know, rededicating. Sometimes I think it's a coping mechanism for, and in a good way in their personal life, but for having another purpose to fight. I'm not saying it may help him, it may not, but I don't like to dismiss it. I've seen people all day online be like, oh, look at him grifting now. Look at him grifting being a Christian. Look at him grifting this and that. I don't know his journey. And if he accepted the Lord, great. But how it affects him in the fight, you better still be that violent dude, bro. You better still be that guy that goes in there looking to take heads off shoulders, no mercy. Otherwise, the game will eat you up and spit you out. You know what I mean? And he knows that, obviously. I'm just saying.
Is that the old famous fuck you suit, or is this a new version that we're wearing today?
This is the similar style to it. I was only saying we broke the internet back then with that one. This isn't the fuck you, but it's a different one. It is the suit, but it's titled with 1xBet. There's a partner of mine. So, you know, we showed them love.
Everything is an ad, bro. I love the suit, but everything, he's got the Mac Energy on stage. He's got the freaking 1xBet. He's doing something with Polymarket, the whole, oh, bro, he's a walking ad. It's not a bad idea. He's getting money, I'm sure. But damn, dude. The fuck you suit was just classic and iconic because it was like, I don't give a shit. Now we're recreating it with the sponsorship. I don't know, man. Conor's had pillow hands since Dustin, too. Conor's never had pillow hands, dude. Conor, he may not have the same power at 170 because he's not a natural 170, but he's never had pillow hands.
I support the Mac in the camp. And I'm grateful for all the support from my business associates and my team and then my fans. I'm grateful beyond measure for my fans and their loyalty and their excitement here. And as much as I'm back for the love of the game, I am back for the love of the fans.
Conor, how do you feel to be back at Las Vegas? What can you tell us about the city? And what can you tell us about coming back in your second home, the T-Mobile Arena? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, my man. It's good to be home. Good to be home. An amazing arena here, Las Vegas, the fight capital of the world. I look forward to opening up this market for my bare knuckle fighting championship company, which will be an outstanding event. Imagine bare knuckle fighting championship in Las Vegas. We're very excited with that. Those conversations are ongoing. And, you know, I'm always happy to come back here to Las Vegas. I have property here. I bought a house here many years ago. And, you know, I got the kids out and family out. And we love it here. It's great to be back. Thank you so much.
The way I'm hearing him, and I know that it's not ever going to be the same Conor that was the same, you know, the 145-pound talking brash, kicking ass Conor, and then, you know, at 55, and I'm cool with all the gods, right? It's never going to be that guy again. This reminds me a lot of the Dustin Poirier 2 build-up, where he was very much like grateful, very calm, zen state, and, you know, I'm not saying that these things have the ultimate effect on a fight. However he comes into the fight itself is secondary from his attitude in fight week. But I do wonder, like, does this serve him? The gratitude versus the I'm here to take over attitude. I wonder if that's a little different mentality. Because, you know, you've been hearing, not that he has to do all the greatest hits, but you've been hearing people ask him about, yeah, he was like that with Cerrone too, that's fair. People ask him, oh, you know, what's the Mystic Mac prediction? He's just like, good fight, right? And there's points in this interview I think he gets a little riled up, but I don't know. Do you think the fact you think guys was in his prime fighting Cowboy, Habib, Dustin, you guys are absolutely delirious. He left his prime after going to the Mayweather fight. That changed him. I agree with that.
Hello, champ. Conor,
I saw that. Someone said he had Tim Grover walking around with him. So how did that come about? I heard Kavanaugh speak about that today as well. Very interesting, but I mean, I don't know how much it really makes any sense in terms of like what Conor needs him for. So if you guys don't know, Tim Grover was like I don't know, he was a personal trainer for Michael Jordan for a long time, and then he was like a motivational speaker, and he's also like a life coach that worked with like Kobe and Novak Djokovic and those guys. I'm not really sure. He's a mindset guy, and Conor has always been a mindset guy too, but I'm not sure if he's like officially a part of the team or if they met while he was staying out here in Newport, by the way. Conor was staying out here in Orange County. He was in Newport. I actually spoke to some guy the other day that said that Conor was going to the hyperbaric chamber facility like 30 minutes from my house. I was like, what the fuck? But he's apparently now in Vegas with Conor and the team. And so, you know, Conor used to have Ito Portal around and his whole mindset and flowy, stay flowy, mate. Maybe Tim Grover brings something, but I don't want to see him in the corner, bro. I don't want to see him in the corner like they had David Goggins trying to carry the boats in the corner. I don't want to see that. That makes no sense. But if you have him around for the hype talk and stuff, maybe that's what he needs, but don't put him in the corner.
You that no longer have the fire or the hunger you had before. What do you say to those things you are done?
You know, if I didn't have the fire or the hunger, yet I'm up against one of the most active bodies in the fight game, in Max Holloway. You know, I just think it's silly to say this. You know, the challenge is colossal. It is a colossal challenge ahead of me that I am entering with supreme confidence. It's magnificent. The fire is in my belly roaring and is about to be released on Saturday night. I've practiced abstaining also in this camp. It's the first time I've ever done it from any type of physical touch, if you will. And that's been intense. I'm excited to see what it brings on Saturday night. I'm going to have a good night Saturday, all across the board.
No nut Conor. Different. A new Mystic Mac. A new Conor has been unlocked. No nut Conor is what we're getting on Saturday. He keeps talking about releasing and intensity and abstaining. Brother, if Conor does win, the entirety of Las Vegas is getting covered in the Mac juice, bro.
Pause.
I'm just saying.
Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the
If
red
Conor
panties.
wins, yo, appreciate you, Rudy. Thank you for the membership, dude. Content's awesome. Wade, been a fan since KSI Logan 1. Appreciate you. If Conor wins on Saturday, he's about to go back to the hotel room and...
Hey, pound it.
That's what's about to happen, dude. He's about to pound it. I'm surprised. He's 37 years old, never did the abstaining from sex. I'm surprised. Someone said Max is getting finished on. Israel Adesanya, Paulo Costa style, dude. That's what I want to see.
Thank you, champ.
Conor, you
That's
mentioned
crazy.
you have been gone. Sorry, over here to your left. You mentioned you have been gone for a while,
Someone
but
said,
the
hopefully
cultural
with consent this time. Oh, shit.
relevance remains. Guys in the World Cup are still doing the strut. I mean, do you pay attention when guys are still doing things to pay tribute to you and honor you? And what does that mean to you that you've had this cultural relevance for?
It's always great. It's always great when we have a little fresh one on Saturday night. You know,
He said he's going to go to the after party and cheat on D. What is wrong with you, dude? No, he's going back to his new wife, D. Devlin McGregor, and having their 27th kid, okay? No, in reality, Conor will probably find some ugly fucking fat girl at the win after party. Some ugly fat girl that, of course, the Mystic Mac will, hopefully keep everything consensual with. Hopefully. His 4th of July tweet said otherwise. I'm not posting the bare knuckle 4th of July shit, dude.
We're gonna have fun with it. It's a fun business. Ruthless business.
He
but a
probably
fun
thought, I
business.
thought you've been abstaining since the last kid.
Oh
shit.
Focus on enjoying the process.
McGregor and his tortas.
Let's go. Pop culture and sport culture, and it's always great to have the eyes of the world
Oh, God.
on our work, and that's it. I'm thankful.
You mentioned you understand that people could have doubts about you. Have you had doubts about yourself during this process?
I got you, Tanner.
No, none. I outwork doubt. That's it. Doubt will only build when you do not put the work in. So I make sure and put the work in. Our preparation for this bout has been very, very meticulous. We have been very, if you will, secretive. Nothing has really come out on approach, on styles. As a full-fledged mixed martial artist stepping inside that octagon on Saturday night, and I'm excited to show it.
Listen, I love the talk here from Conor about outworking doubt. I love that because it's true. Doubt will creep into your life in all aspects of your life. If you are not keeping your mindset positive, if you're not looking at life, in a way that you're trying to grow, you're trying to advance and live that way, doubt comes for everybody. But if you can put your mindset in a way that just completely quells doubt, continue to rack up the wins day by day, little by little, I like that from Conor. So, someone just said, how many secret children do you think Conor has? At least one. You'd be out of your mind to think Conor doesn't have at least one illegitimate child out there. But I've heard this before from Conor. And I've heard this from Conor's camp. How many times, and everybody says this, so it isn't just Conor, but every MMA fight camp says stuff like, we've had the best camp we've ever had. He's in the best shape he's ever been. His cardio is the best it's ever been. He's more focused than he's ever been. How many times have we heard that from Conor, from John Kavanaugh, from the entire team, and how much of it wasn't true, right? Like, they were saying stuff like this before the Khabib fight, saying stuff like this before the Dustin 2 and 3 fight. And it may be true in their eyes, but the performances do lack a little bit. So do they mean this is the best Conor for 37 years old, or do they truly mean this is the best Conor they've ever seen? I don't know. I think some of it is hyperbolic. I think some of it's, wishful thinking. I hope it's true. I hope that all this stuff he's doing, no nut busting, all this different stuff they're doing to try to bring him back into the game, it works out. But ultimately, he's still 37 and 5 years out of the game, coming off 2 bad losses, right? The first of which he got knocked out cold. So I hope.
Last one from me. You very famously apologized.
Exactly. You're saying, what do I want them to say? I know. That's why I'm saying I don't want to knock them too hard for it, but you do have to call in the question, okay, well, the reason we doubt or the reason that we are like, is because you have said this before.
Nobody in your career. Do you have doubts or do you have regrets, about like anything that's happened in your career or anything that you've done?
McGregor.
I'm thankful for the lessons I've learned. And my job is to honor the position God has put me in. And do not disrespect it. And that's where I'm at. I'm thankful for the lessons I have learned. And on I go.
Conor, when I saw you in Saudi Arabia a couple of years ago at the Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou fight, you were pretty frustrated and said you're being kept from your living. To be back here now, like sitting on that stage, just days away, can any part of you be grateful to get those extra 2 years, or like how do you feel sitting up there right now?
He just broke No Nut McGregor right there. He just broke his abstinence as that question was being asked. He just broke it.
I don't want to get into this therapy vibe. It's a few tough years. There has been a few tough years. Thank you for reminding me of that, because that's giving me a nice feeling of, yes, I'm here. I am here now. It's been a tough one, you know? But God works in mysterious ways. It is all as it should. So maybe it just wasn't meant to be at that time. And I'm happy how it has come about. Looking back and looking at how my preparation has gone, I'm thankful how it's gone. I'm well ready here. You know, if you think about it, I've spent some time preparing for the stocky boxer wrestler, the athletic wrestler in Chandler, and then you go to a longer, rangy, more volume striker and Max. So I had to be very proper in my preparation. You know, I couldn't take that for granted. You're switching a completely different stylistic opponent. So, I put the work in, and the time has worked. I'm happy and thankful for how it has worked out.
It's interesting, too. Someone said Chandler was under the table. Conor McGregor. This is what I got to do to get the fight. I'll do it. Hey,
pound it.
I do think it is interesting how Conor has talked about this buildup. Like, it's been perfect for him. I agree that things had to be done meticulously after he had a devastating leg injury. You could not come back in a year from that. And honestly, coming back in a year and a half to even 2 years is hopeful, is wishful thinking, I think. Now, 5 years is a little bit too long. I think he's been well recovered by this point. But there is something to be said for the change of opponent. It was supposed to be Carlos Prates. Believe it or not, that I fully believe when Conor says that the UFC offered him Carlos Prates and he said yes. I believe him, because Conor has never been a guy to turn down a bunch of fights. As much as you want to say, okay, maybe the UFC handpicked some of his opponents throughout his run at 45, he's never really said no. So when they said Carlos Prates and he said yes, whoo! No, dude, it wasn't Hoofy. It was Carlos Prates they offered him. John Kavanaugh said it today on Ariel's show. That's a bad fight for Conor. But the fact that he was willing to go, okay, cool, let's do it, shows you how desperate he was just to fight again. And I do think, listen, we don't talk about it a lot because it's a bit of a downer on the sport, but it's a reality. Look at Dustin Poirier talking about, having troubles just living outside of his time in the UFC, just living with not fighting. How Alexander Volkanovski said he feels like he goes into a dark place when he's not fighting. Some of these other guys that retire and just they're not themselves. Hell, Tony Ferguson getting out of his fucking car on the freeway and sprinting up a hill. These dudes, you need it. They need this. This is what they identify with. Physically, mentally, all of it. Now, the other dark side of that is it's probably the reason that they have all these mental episodes outside of fighting is the fact that they fight. But it feels like Conor is most at home and he is most structured and he is most himself, not getting into trouble when he's fighting. So being off for as long as he did, getting into the shit that he did, it probably does feel like he's come through a ton of adversity to come back and be where he's at. Most of which his own doing, like he did it to himself, but nevertheless, he's here.
Max has said, that citing your quote that it's not a win unless you finish the fight, and that you're, I guess, 0-0 going into that. Do you believe that you have a true win over this man, or are you looking at it as?
Listen, I put my big Irish paws in his face. I sunned the boy, and I faced a devastating injury. A career-ending injury happened to me in that bout.
Yeah, that
changed my entire approach to fighting, with the ACL tear and the meniscus tear. It was the first time I'd ever experienced something like that. So, listen, I beat him, and I'm going to beat him again on Saturday night for sure.
Just last for me, 100 numbered UFC.
Conor's math only works when he's talking about people that aren't himself. He can only win by knockout or stoppage if it's not Conor.
UFC events before this was UFC 229, the biggest fight we've had in the history of the sport with you and Khabib. We're 100 events forward now. Is this in a better place? Like, how do you look at the sport now? Do you feel it can raise to that level again? Do you bring it to that level again?
The economics the finances of the company show. Last year, they got 1.4 billion in free cash floating around. I hope they've something spectacular for the fans. Big performances. I don't know. We should be doing something. We should be shocking the world and exciting the world with our events here, and I hope so. And I believe it will be that will be the case. Certainly, inside the octagon, I will do so. I will do my part. And, the business is booming, my man. 7.7B in from Paramount showed this. And we're going live on CBS, which I'm very thankful for the support of the Paramount family. And there you go. Business is booming, baby.
Wait, what part of the card is going to be live on CBS? If that's true, that's huge. I don't think they're going to show Conor, the main card, on CBS. I think that'll be a Paramount Plus exclusive for sure. But if there's a part of this card going, I know they've done this before, but if they're putting some of this card on CBS, like the prelims or something, that's a big deal. That's a pretty fucking big deal. They were supposed to do that allegedly with the White House, and they never did. But I agree with Conor on this. Like, he's always talked about how the UFC should be reinvesting into the fighters, into the product, like the White House card for all of the big numbered cards. And I agree. You make $1.1 billion per year in TV rights money, and you're actually grossing $1.4 billion. You should be reinvesting that not only into the fighters, but also into these massive, massive productions, these face-to-faces, all this. Like, up until today, people rightfully were saying it didn't feel like a Conor McGregor fight week, right? Where was the big-time push, the big-time promotion, all this stuff? Now, again, Conor has to agree to do some of it, and I understand that, but I agree that these should feel more special than they do sometimes, And it's honestly, in this week, it just feels kind of, outside of Conor being the entertainment magnet that he is, it kind of feels like another fight week. Max is doing interviews, but they're not getting the pull,
Conor, can you understand why some people feel you don't deserve this platform, given the court case 2 years ago?
Ooh, here we go.
I'm an innocent man, and I'll stand for my innocence until the day I go out. And that is still a situation where I fight. There's a reason it didn't go where it went, and it went to a civil trial. It is what it is. It stings deep. I continue to fight. I know the truth. And I know that lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. And I know that anything done in darkness will soon come to light. And I trust in God that it's coming. You best believe it's coming. And I look very, very forward to the day.
Do you feel...
I got to give that reporter or that journalist credit, because there wasn't another soul in that setting that was going to ask Conor that question. And he asked it in a way that was more so like, tell this to the people that think you shouldn't be here. Now, here's what I'll say. This accusation and charge, because, right, he was civilly charged for sexual assault, right? That's the formal charge. Conor got civilly held liable for rape. The entire details of the case, I'm not going to act like I know, because I don't. But this is one of the big scars on Conor's name, not only in the fight game, but in Ireland. I remember when I went to Ireland, it was right after it happened, or right around the same time where it was happening maybe, and the people of Ireland did not like him. They were done with him. They had washed their hands of him, and essentially it was a lot of it because of, the punching the old man in the pub and whatever else, but this was a big part of it. Now, Conor has not, and he says there, it went the way it went. There's a reason they didn't try me criminally. And I'm not going to act like I know the Irish criminal justice system, but what I have been told is the fact that there's something around like how difficult it is to actually get a conviction criminally in Ireland versus, doing things civilly. But then I've heard the other side of the argument where this girl that is accused and ended up, again, winning a civil case versus Conor. That, by the way, I think that Conor's team tried to retry. Didn't they try to retry the case? And that failed as well. Like the victim won again. But people have come out and said, well, it was consensual and she only did it after the fact, that there's pictures of them together. There's video of them together, smiling, kissing, all this. And, you know, she actually had sex with multiple guys that night. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but what I will say is Conor is legally, at least in the sense of the civil case here, held liable for rape. And that's something he's going to have to answer for the rest of his life. Now, I think I can separate the fighter from the person. What do I think about Conor as a person? If what has been charged against him is true, you can't fuck with him. You can't. You can't. If it's false, Conor says he's going to keep fighting. I don't really know what that means because I'm pretty sure, again, they've already tried to appeal it and lost. Then it is what it is. But just like I said this, by the way, I said this in a video and Mike Tyson's son got mad at me, but it was just the truth. Like he DM'd me wanting to fight me because I said this. It was really crazy. But Mike was arrested and charged with rape. He spent time in prison for it. You can say he didn't do it. You can say the girl made it up. You can say it was a false accusation, whatever. I am just saying what the truth of it is, that happened. And the way we look at Mike now is like Uncle Mike, and, you know, he's very well revered today. And it's almost like that left his entire, backstory. I don't know if that's going to happen the same way with Conor. I think, you can easily sway public perception in the athletic space by being a good fighter. I mean, Kobe Bryant, same kind of thing. Not necessarily the same outcome, but the same kind of thing. And he's revered, obviously. Rest in peace to Kobe. But I don't know if Conor's ever going to outrun this one. I don't really know. There's also a thing in the civil case where Conor's team wasn't allowed to use certain parts of evidence. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. If Conor truly is able to fight this and overturn it, then fair play. And then we should all recount or at least go back and take a look and say, hey, maybe we got it wrong or whatever. But if he isn't and what happened, you can't fuck with that. You just can't. I believe him only based off his body language from that statement right there. That's the most I've seen him defend himself. Probably for legal reasons, but he should have known it didn't look good. Well, here's the thing, too. Dude, it was crazy. Tyson's kid was like, we should fight. I was like, what? What are you talking about? No, it's dumb as fuck. But that's the other thing, too, is not body language expert, but Conor seems like he believes what he said. That doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's an odd situation, to be honest with you. It's a very odd situation because as somebody that didn't follow the case, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, we believe Conor, because how am I going to do that? I can't. That's bullshit. But I'm also not going to act like I don't want to watch him fight, that I don't think he's one of the funniest dudes that's ever lived in combat sports, that he isn't the most charismatic and most entertaining fighter that the sport has ever seen, and that I'm not excited for his fight. You know what I mean? It's very difficult for me to not watch him. I want to watch Conor fight. I don't know. I'm sorry. It just is what it is, But yeah, anyway, long story short, the ball's on that journalist. Someone said he caught Conor on a good day. That's the most I've heard Conor really ever talk about it in the public space. And again, he probably can't talk about it a ton, but fair play for asking the question.
Like you fell into the trap that so many fighters do with fame and money.
Obviously. 2017, double weight world champion, Floyd Mayweather banked. And then I launched an Irish whiskey. I didn't drink heavily, if at all, in that time of my life. I was an athlete at the top of my game. Next thing you know, there's thousands upon thousands of bottles in my garage. Sell this, Conor. Okay, I'd leave my property and with 2 bottles under my arm. And that was it. I was caught. I wasn't used with it. That's it. God gave me these lessons. That's it. I was trapped and caught. And it is what it is. I trust in God. I trust in my journey. And I trust in the truth. And if the world is against the truth, then I am against the world. And that is where I stand.
What a quote. If the world is against the truth, then I am against the world. What a quote, man. Again, it's very difficult to as the outsiders of whatever, this case. He's not talking just about the case there, but he's talking about all of the things he's gone through in the last, 5 years or whatever. We just don't, we know what is publicly available, which is not a lot, I guess. And the fact that, again, the case was tried criminally and then dropped and then gone civilly, that maybe that says something. The fact that it was won civilly, maybe that says something. But what says more to me than anything is that Conor became the guy that he always, it's a Facebook quote, it kind of is. Conor became the guy that he always railed against, right? The guy that took his focus off the game, right? The guy that became the drunk or became a victim of his vices. Like Conor said there, he wasn't a big drinker. He was barely drinking. He was barely doing anything outside of fighting. But money changes that, dude. Money changes people, situations, ease of access. All this changes people. It just does. And it's because we're human at the end of the day. It's very rare to find someone that keeps the same grounding and humbleness about themselves when the world, I wouldn't say is given to them, but when they get access to the world, when they get access to everything they ever wanted materially, and they want more. So he's right. These things put in front of him, it's not an excuse. He chose to partake in those things. He chose to take that, Irish whiskey and go out and make bad decisions. He chose to live a very certain way with the money, but it's just easy to do. It really is. You don't have to feel bad for him, but it is the truth. Money will change you. And especially in the fight game where you're already impulsive as it is, it brought out the worst versions of whatever was deep inside Conor. And like I said, he became the guy that he always thought he'd never be.
Conor, some people say that one of the changes to the business.
One of my friends saw McGregor at church in Costa Mesa on Sunday. That's fire, dude. I'm telling you. I saw one of the guys I know around here said they saw him at the hyperbaric chamber thing in Newport doing that. And obviously he was at Laguna Beach. I don't know how genuine Conor's being with this religious arc. I hope it's good. I hope it's what he actually is actually doing. And it seems like he's trying to live that life. So good for him. I'm not going to bash him for trying to change who he is and act like he's just grifting on it. Like, if that's who he is now, then good. That's probably one of the best things he could have done for himself,
Is that you almost became too big. You can exist outside of the UFC bubble, and that now maybe they don't want to pay another star quite as much because then it might be harder to negotiate fights. Do you feel that's true? Do you feel like you had an impact because you were so successful and showed an example to the rest of your colleagues as fighters?
I'll always campaign for the fighters getting their worth, and I'm very happy with it. We're getting it's a steady rise. If you ask Max, I'm sure it's probably 5 times his highest pay. So the boys are getting there, and the boys and the girls are getting there, and I will always campaign for that. And I'll always be happy that I have helped spearhead that. As an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, it kind of puts me in a pickle. I always vouch for the fighters. So, but I also have a stake in the company, so there has to be some sort of balance. But still, I'm a fighter at heart. I know what it takes in this business. And I know without the fighters, there is none of this. Not an iota of it.
True.
So I'm happy that the money is rising in the fight business and that we're thriving. And I'm happy to be back and give it that extra little fuel to its rocket. And off it goes.
If you could.
So here's the thing. Yeah, I am filming a video for now. Am I religious? Somewhat. I wouldn't say I am, as connected as I should be. And then that's something I'm going through. That's my journey. And I'm really trying to become more connected. I got my little, I don't read it as much as I should, but I got my little mini Bible here, a 5-minute Bible study for men. I take a look at it here and there and try to re-ground myself in what I'm doing. But what I was going to say is Conor has, let's be honest, never been super outspoken against the UFC when it comes to fighter pay, because Conor himself was never really, outside of, maybe his first couple fights in the UFC, but once he made some good money for himself, he was the cash cow. He was getting paid again, maybe not as much, not even maybe. He was underpaid, even whilst being the most highly paid fighter in MMA, and that's still true to this day. But I think he understands, one, he doesn't shit where he eats, and two, now owning a percentage of a fight company, that it's always going to be fighters versus promotion. It's always going to be that way, especially in MMA, where you do have more of a monopoly, and you do have, the promotion is the league, is the management, is, the director, all in one space. So it's a good thing to say, hey, I'm all for the fighters getting their money. Now, if Conor did actually want to help fighter pay, and it would be a massive, massive commitment, and it really wouldn't affect anything at this point because the UFC is such a machine now, he would be the spearhead of a union. That's never going to happen, and Conor would never do that because he wants to fight. But it's a tough situation for him because, like he said, he now owns or part of the bare knuckle championships, and he understands they need to make money. And part of the reason most businesses in boxing, most promotions in boxing don't make money is because of the splits they have. So it's a never-ending conversation we always have. It will probably never change. Conor is making money for himself, and yes, the people on his card will make more money, so good for them.
Could be anonymous for one day, go somewhere and nobody recognized you. What would you do? Where would you go?
My man, I don't know. Church. I go to church and just praise God. Get on my knees and praise our Lord. He's given me it all. And I'm forever on my knees in praise.
Conor, Justin Gaethje said he'll be in attendance for your fight against Max. He also says he wants to punch you in the face. What's your response to Justin Gaethje?
Okay.
Yeah, join the queue. Join the queue. There's a few. Yeah, look, he has the lightweight belt, fair play to him. Holloway put him face down, ass up, though. Badly face down. So, I'm not even thinking of it at this time. But I go down to lightweight again. Also, is another thing, I'm not so sure. I fancy the Triple Crown. I fancy the Triple Crown. So, less of the disrespect, you fucking bum.
Now, Max Holloway.
Oh, shit. The religious arc, and then, by the way, fuck you. No. Listen, like I said, I think I do believe when Conor is the way he speaks about religion now, I think honestly that Ibo gain thing he did, that 36-hour trip he did, I think it brought mortality really close to him, and he kind of is like, oh, I really need to ground myself and, reevaluate whatever it is I'm doing in my life. Anyway, this idea about him and Justin Gaethje, just know that I told you this. I told you this when Justin Gaethje was on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about how he doesn't believe that Ilia Topuria deserves a rematch. He doesn't necessarily want to fight this year. He is for sure angling for the Conor fight. That's why he's going to be in attendance. He wants Conor, and he does have something Conor wants in a belt, but I agree with Conor here. I don't think that he's going to fight at 155 ever again. I think whether it was HGH or whatever else it was, the performance enhancers that he used to heal his leg, and he gained a ton of weight for that role in Roadhouse, I don't think his body is going to allow him to get to 155 the same way it would have even a couple of years ago. I think he's just too big now. Point blank, period. So that leaves the 170-pound division, which again, Conor is not going to go through the ranks at 155 or 70 to get to a world title. The best case scenario for Conor McGregor is Islam Makhachev beats Ian Gary, Conor beats Max, has one more fight at 70, maybe even versus a Carlos Pradas or somebody, and then tries to jump the line and get a belt. That's the best case. I don't think it'll happen that way. But then again, Conor McGregor is still the bread mate. So who knows? But yeah. I don't know. I unless Justin wanted to do it at 70, but then why would he fight Justin at 70? Because he wouldn't have the belt. Conor wants the belt, as he says there. He wants the Triple Crown. It's going to be Islam. And what a hell of a fight that would be. The build-up, anyway, it would be insane. But the fight itself may not be very competitive. We'll see. We'll see what happens Saturday. But there's a lot of things that and the other thing we're not talking about, by the way, is Conor only has 2 fights left on his deal. So that would mean he'd need to re-sign and come back. There's a lot of stuff there that Conor can still do. He may not re-sign with the UFC. He may go and fucking fight Jake Paul in a boxing match. We don't know, dude. We don't know.
Holloway has also been training with JDM, who's a...
One thing I learned is whatever Wade predicts you got to go against, true.
Welterweight himself. Has also been training with JDM, who's a welterweight himself. What are your thoughts on him choosing JDM as a training partner to emulate you?
That's not going to cut it. Not bad choice. Why not? I seen the little Pitty Pat Mickey Mouse Club training. It looks like a teen amateur fucking... It's not on the level. It's not going to cut it for the ferocity that will be before him in the octagon, as well as the array of weaponry. So there you go. Both can get it.
Ooh, calling out JDM there as well. Okay, Jack Della. The Mickey Mouse pity pots they're doing over there. What Conor's talking about is Max Holloway doesn't spar hard anymore. At least I don't think so. He has essentially told multiple people that the hard sparring was taken away from his fights. It was him leaving a lot more in the room than was actually bringing to the fight, and that he knows how to fight now, so it's more just technique work. Conor has said the opposite lately in terms of, how you prepare for a fight. He was saying this about Ilia Topuria, how Ilia is not preparing the right way. Ilia is not doing the things he needs to do in camp, getting the hard spars, getting the people that are going to try to bring it to him and knock him out to prepare him for the fight. So there's 2 different ideologies going on there. And I'm not exactly sure whose ideology is going to win out, because Max's, not hard sparring has carried his career even longer, but you don't get that realistic look, whereas Conor is essentially doubting that Max has seen anyone bring it to him the way that Conor is. So we'll see.
Conor, you said that you're ready to face the best fighters. So Shavkat Rakhmonov beat your fellow Irishman Ian Gary, considered as one of the most dangerous contenders in the...
Bro, what is this? I hate when these reporters that are from an area where one of the fighters that's in the top of the UFC exists, or whatever. I hate when they ask questions that have zero relevance to what's going on. Why would anyone ask Conor about Shavkat Rakhmonov right now? I'm sorry. Yes, I know Shavkat's trying to come back. He's got the knee injury. I get it. But what the fuck does that offer him? What do we care about a fight like that right now? If Shavkat had the belt, okay. But what in the fuck? This is like... I just don't understand it. Why? What the fuck are we talking about? No relevance whatsoever.
This division. So if things go your way, do you see the fight happening one day? And what do you think of him as a fighter?
I know he had a heavy injury and he's building back from that, so I'll leave him to it. I don't really think anything of him at the minute. He's got a lot of work to do. What has he got to offer me?
Right.
The title.
Like, what the hell who cares about... I'm sorry. I would love to see Shavkat fight again, too. He's super entertaining, but like, what? No one cares about this fight.
You would have to acquire the title for me to even consider. He's not a bad fighter. That's it.
Conor, what sort of conversations do you think people will be having on Monday morning after your fight?
The Mac is well and truly back.
McGregor was posted on the UFC. He looks good. We'll look at it after this is over.
And that's it. The excitement is going to be off the charts on Saturday night. The performance is going to be off the charts. I have some shot selection here and some set of movements that I plan for this bout, and I'm excited to showcase it.
Conor?
Do you guys hear this, though? This is why I'm saying that Conor is either playing mind games with Max Holloway with some of these answers, talking about, again, we got to pause this one.
Pause.
How he's going to, contort his body and take him from behind or whatever he said. Have his way with him. There you go. And now he's saying stuff like, I have these planned movements. I have, these different things I want to do. He's not talking about striking there. I mean, maybe he's talking about striking, but he's talking about sequences and these different things. I'm trying to figure out if he's going to wrestle Max like he did the first fight when he tore the ACL because he saw Charles wrestle Max and grapple with him and had a just smooth, easy time doing it, or if he's just trying to get in Max's head. I don't know which one it is. And either way, I don't know if it works out for Conor. He's not the grappler that Charles Oliveira is. He's a better grappler than Max. You've seen that already. Even still, to this day, I think he's far better than he was then. And even if Max got better, I think Conor's been the better grappler. But the gas tank, we're going 5 rounds here at 170, Chief. You know what I mean? Like, we already know that Conor struggles with the gas tank. It's a 5-year layoff. Offensive wrestling is going to gas you just as much as defensive wrestling. I don't hate the idea of mixing it up, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You have some of the wildest build-ups, pre-fight build-ups in UFC history, but things seem pretty cordial between you and Max. After the time away, is a calm build-up what you need? Or
he's going to control the lead hand like he does every Orthodox fighter? Yeah, I mean, he did this with Max the first time as well. Conor likes to reach his lead hand out, control your lead, get you to throw prematurely, try to distract you with his lead hand for the left. It's a good call, by the way, from Tanner in chat saying that he couldn't do that versus the southpaw and Dustin. There was some openings there, but Conor was getting countered big time with Dustin's lead hand, the check hook, and things that Conor doesn't necessarily see a ton because he doesn't fight a lot of other southpaws. This will be back in his comfort zone. In the first fight, not to take everything from the first fight and put it to this one, Conor was able to manipulate the lead hand and bang the left hand home over and over and over, and then use the lead hand to manipulate Max's lead hand and then swipe underneath it with the uppercut, the corkscrew uppercut, right? The up jab, whatever, and then bang the left hand behind it. So Conor's definitely taken advantage of a lot of Orthodox fighters. Max already has seen this, but it'll be interesting to see that lead hand game again. What if he gets southpaw Max? I think it's a terrible idea for Max, I'll be honest. Max doesn't defend himself when he changes stances, and Ilya talked about this, how Max will just stand in range and change stance to get to southpaw or Orthodox, and he won't hide it. So when he does, and this is why I don't want Conor fighting that Orthodox bullshit that he does sometimes, where he gets so over his lead foot when he throws his left hand that he just goes to Orthodox. And I'm like, Conor doesn't defend himself well there. He doesn't punch well there. The only thing he has out of that Orthodox stance is his teep kick to the body, right? That front kick to the stomach where he stabs it in there. I don't like that. So I think both guys have the best chance staying in their actual Orthodox southpaw positions, but Max will probably switch and Conor probably will too, so it'll be a mix. Whoever is better in those continued sequences is going to win this fight. Like, whether it's Conor catching Max between punches where he throws 3, 4, and 5, or it's Max overwhelming Conor with the volume, I think whoever's better in those spots, if it's Conor's technique and power and timing versus Max's volume and precision and, pace, those are going to be the difference in the fight to me. If Conor's still fresh and touches Max on the chin in between punches, then it's a bad night for Max Holloway. If Conor can't get his rhythm and those 5 years out of the game prove to be what we all think it's going to be, he's going to have ring rust and all that, then Max is going to put on a stylistic masterclass and box Conor's face in. One of those two things is going to happen.
Do you prefer the chaos?
It's pretty chaotic, all of it. I am calm, I am centered for sure, probably more than I've ever been, and I'm very happy with that.
If Max were to try to wrestle Conor, I think he'd get his takedown stuffed, or Conor would get back to his feet very quickly. I don't think that would make a ton of sense for Max.
Happy with the work I have put into myself with the people who have helped me. And I'm in a great space. Bring on the chaos, baby. I'm calm in the chaos, comfortable in the uncomfortable. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this Mac Energy is sensational. Yeah, this is gonna blow this colossal. Yeah, I'll give it to you, Donna. This is gonna blow this colossal industry.
Donna Corby raised his hand to ask a question, and Connor's like, "Yeah, I'll get you one."
Wide open. This energy drink category. It's got loaded with ketones, BHB ketones that I have patented. You people go into a ketogenic state, they starve and fast themselves to get this. What I've got in the can, and no other energy drink can have this. This baby is gonna rocket ship to the moon. Try it and
Did
enjoy.
Connor just say he patented ketones? That's not possible. He can't patent a medical term. I guess he means ketones in an energy drink. That's something I've never heard of, to be fair. I don't know if an energy drink can put you into ketosis as well. I don't know if that's how it works. Bro just discovered the word ketones. I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you get to ketosis just by ingesting ketones. I'm gonna try it though. Ketosis in a bottle. I am gonna try the Mac Energy for sure. You guys know I'm a caffeine nut, so I'm definitely trying this. Someone said, "Why is no one talking about Conor's metal leg?" I don't know if you mean this in a good and bad way, but there's I think this is more of a detriment than it is a benefit for Conor. You can't convince me that just because he has a metal rod in his leg that it's a weapon now. That's not, no. You have multiple screws in your leg. It's being held together by bolts and screws and metal rods. That doesn't scream to me stability and sturdiness. To be used as a weapon of attack especially. If Conor were to throw that fucking back leg and knock Max out, like hit him with a head kick, I would be shocked. Straight up, I would be shocked if he was able to do that. So it's more so how bad is it that Conor, like how much has he recovered just to be able to move and stand on it and use it as explosive and all that, but I would be shocked if he was able to actually land it and knock Max out with it. Now, Conor will throw it. He will throw it, but I don't think it's going to be the weapon he's acting like. I think mentally he's convinced himself that he can't let his mind go to a dark place and be thinking about it, right? Chris Weidman said when he threw it after he had his surgery that it immediately hurt, and he was like, "Oh, I'm never throwing that again." In the same fight. This is what he was thinking during the fight. Conor can't let his mind go there because then it takes away a weapon that the opponent knows he can't throw. So he's going to say things like, "It's a weapon of mass destruction, mate. But brother, no. You got to be out of your mind if you think that's the big weapon. The weapon always was and is that big left hand. Everything else that Conor throws is window dressing to get you to walk onto one of these. And it's always been that way. It'll always be that way. He's just been a master at setting it up. Now, the Cerrone fight, yeah, he landed a big head kick. He landed with the foot, to be fair, but he also landed shoulder strikes. You know? All of it is meant to set up the left hand, for sure. I know Weidman didn't do the same treatments, but he still got the same hardware in there, you know? There's still, like, rod, nuts, and bolts. Yes, Conor did the HGH and all that, but that doesn't affect the fact that you're walking with the, like the Tin Man on your leg. That's still not his natural leg. You know what I'm saying? So I doubt that it's going to be the weapon that he's saying it is. That's just what I mean.
Right. God bless you all. Donna, go ahead. Sorry, my man.
Just a couple. I just wanted to ask you, does it upset? Like, obviously,
yes, Tavares went after his legs. I would have too.
We've seen a bit on social media. Like, it's different in Ireland now, isn't it, than it was, in the heyday. Does it upset you that that's the way that it is? And do you feel like you want to win back the Irish people and really have it be like it was, a decade ago?
Don't waste those ketones, mate. You're spilling the fucking ketones all over the desk, you are, mate.
I'm not here to win anyone back. I'm here to represent my country. What is taking place in Ireland is the saddest story in the West. It is a travesty what is taking place, that our borders are wide open and that the most violent cultures are just...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Conor's very passionate about this. That's not the question that Dona was asking him, I don't think. I don't think that's the question he was asking him. Dona asked him, I think what Dona was trying to ask was, do you feel you can ever win the Irish people back after losing their faith based on the shit you were doing outside of the cage? and how much they've turned on you, not Ireland's loss to the immigrants. What do you got to say about it? But Conor took it. He's running with the ball now, baby.
Hoisted upon our people in our rural towns, and the crime that is taking place is showing it. And if God wills it, I'll do it and I'll step in. And that's it. I hope so. It is what it is. The way people can feed into the propaganda or the, you know, the lies that are pushed to the people. It is what it is. It's sad, and it is the saddest story of the West, in my opinion, as Ireland does not deserve this. Our history deserves a better future. And I pray to our God that it is coming.
And listen, I don't even hate the answer from Conor, because I kind of agree with him on this whole, mass illegal immigration issue that's going on in the West right now. I'm not going to hide it. I don't like it. I think things do need to be cleaned up. I think that there is a massive problem, especially in the UK and Ireland, and it's coming to the U.S. as well. When he said, I'm going to step in, I don't know what that means. Does it mean he's going to... Didn't he try to run for some political office and they wouldn't let him? Or I don't know. Something happened. But he's definitely passionate about it. I see him on Twitter talking about it all the time. He wants to preserve the history of Ireland and make it a better future for the people that are natives there. And it's a small country. It's not the same melting pot as the United States, where we have people from all different cultures and walks of life that make up this country. But he's not wrong. Illegal immigration is a pretty rough thing, especially on a country that small. And again, if it becomes out of control anywhere, it puts a strain on, the health systems, the education system, the housing market, your entire economic system, the marketplace in general. And usually that stress is burdened by the working people, the working class of Ireland, of the UK, of the United States. I stand with him on this.
Also, there was a story a couple of years ago. I wanted to clear it up because you're finally on the card together, you and Paddy Pimblett. What did actually happen that night in Liverpool, where supposedly you were at his house or something? Or
nonsense.
Is that so? It didn't happen?
No.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you so much, all. Thank you all.
Yeah, that was a weird story, that whole Conor rolled up on Paddy at his house in Liverpool and was like ready to fight him or something. Paddy said the same thing. It didn't happen. So there it is. Conor McGregor's media day. Listen, a lot of things got answered there. Big balls to the reporter that asked about the sexual assault. Conor is very, he's on his religious arc right now, but I still think there's a little bit of nasty left in there. How much, and how much of a difference will it make? 5 years off. Can Conor really do what no one else has? I mean, George St. Pierre did it for one fight, championship fight, hand-picked opponent. This is a different story. It's a different game with 170 pounds and Max Holloway. Can Conor, quite frankly, shock everybody one more time and show that the Mac is back? I like some of the answers there. I like the fact that he's talking about potentially wrestling, even if he won't do it, because it just gives Max something else to think about. But I don't have any of the answers. We'll be back live stream Friday morning for weigh-ins. I'll do a press conference video as well. And then, of course, fight night, away we go. We're live. See you guys then, and only then. Max Holloway, Conor McGregor, what happens? I guess we'll find out. Bang. Okay. Now, let's finish off stream here, because we've been going for 3 hours. 3 hours, and I got to cook some dinner. I got to hang out with the GF, my girl, and we got to get Rocky out so he can W.A.D.E. Khabib just dropped a new coin called Father Coin. Nice, dude. All right, you said Instagram posted something to Conor. Let's see. Let's see. UFC on the Instagrams. Patented. Oh, the pictures. Okay. We got pictures. Here, let's do this. We got can we? No, let's not. Let's go here. Can we take a look at Conor McGregor? New pictures just dropped. The hairy son of a gun, isn't he? The Irish gorilla he is. Okay, boxing stance Conor. Don't know if I like that. Hopefully it's just for the picture in the video. Don't want to see him walking forward with the high guard. I want to see bladed and bouncy and flowy. Flowy and bouncy, mate. Yeah, he's got the new trunks on. I thought it was going to be the money trunks. Looks good, man. He looks in shape. He looks good. Bro, I used to live in Huntington Beach and went to the church he went to in Costa Mesa, and I was there on Sunday. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. I mean, heaven yeah. Sorry. All right. He had the cigar again? Come on, bro. Come on. Not again with this damn cigar. It's a fashion accessory in all aspects of life, dude. Come on. I'm not going to lie. This is the way a little brother squares up to a big brother after you took his toys, dude. This is the way that little brother squares up on you after you beat him in video games. This is how it goes, dude. This is where little brother... Oh, my Lord. Fucking... What was that? This is little brother after your dad says, make a mean face. Too many ketones? I don't know if he owns a cigar company. He hasn't said anything about it. All right. Very nice. The Mac is back. Very good. Okay. Anything else that we missed for Conor McGregor? Let's refresh here. It's the Notre Dame mascot. True. Uh-oh. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, no. He don't even have the strut down anymore, dude. Hold on. I got to show you on this one. He don't even have the strut down anymore. Yeah, the game's gone, dude. The game's gone. The game's gone. He forgot the strut. No. Fuck. You missed the bald spot on the back of his head? I didn't see any bald spot. I mean, we know the bald spot's there, but I didn't see it in that specific line of pictures. What is this?
Switch your stance. It's down by your side. Rotate toward me just a little bit.
That man's sucking in at the waist. Oh my goodness.
Profile.
What is this stance? That's how you line up to race in the first grade, dude. That's how you line up. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh, here I wanted to watch this. He said he's down to stand and bang with Max Holloway.
I've analysed this boy very meticulously, very deeply, and I'm fully prepared. I'm excited to maneuver my way through him. That's it. I have loads of tells. I see loads of tells. And also, I'll stand in there with this boy. I'll stand in there with this boy and let go. So, I'm confident all across the board.
Do you think that Max does the point to the ground immediately when the fight starts? You think he goes full on, just point to the ground immediately? Oh, I wanted to show you guys this before we get out of here. Tell me this isn't the funniest way you've ever seen somebody freaking sign autographs, dude. I feel so bad for whoever gets these. Look at the way he signs. What is that? That's the worst. He just fucking, that's a line. Dog, it's the worst signature I've ever seen in my life. Come on, dude. I know it's worth more, but what is that? It's a line, dude. Someone said Dingleberry scribbled that no one will recognize. Why bother? Dude, he's done this for years. He's done this for years. There was one time where he was signing posters and he did it like that. And then, like, I think he was with his son. And it was like he regretted the way he signed it. He was like, even for me, that one was pretty shitty. And he was like, ah. It's hilarious, dude. Oh, fuck. Yeah, the bald spot's crazy. He might need to go and get the John Cena treatment where he redoes the turkey transplant, because how you going to go and get the transplant from Turkey and still have the bald spot, brother? You got to go back and get it. Get it done right. You said Happy Punch got the picture? All right, this will be the last one we do. I think y'all are saying Nina drama interview. It's not out right now. There's no bald spot on the Happy Punch shit. What are y'all talking about?
Conor,
just...
Nah, there's not there. Why my love keep lagging? Anyone know? Sorry, dude. I don't know. I'm not lagging on my end. It might be your internet, brother.
Happy to be back. You know, you got to think.
Oh, was it like him walking around yesterday? Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yo, okay. Why are people so concerned with his hair, dude? It's so funny. All over Twitter. All right. There it is, guys. 3-hour stream in the books. Fun stream. Tomorrow, we will be putting these videos out live. Or not live, but we'll be putting these videos out. Then Friday, we're going to come back and we are going to look at weigh-ins. Oh, Friday morning also, we're probably going to put out, we might do it Thursday night, honestly, press conference breakdown. We're going to talk about whatever goes on there. Friday morning, we have weigh-ins, and then, of course, Saturday. We're going to be live Saturday for both the England game and UFC 329, both of them. So we'll go live at like 1:30, stay live all day. Appreciate you guys for watching, man. Do a video with Sensei. Maybe after, yeah, we'll do a weekend that was with Sensei after this weekend because there's so much stuff going on. So much stuff. But yes, the spar. I will take a look at it, but I'm not going to do it right now. But we'll take a look at it off stream. If it's worth video, then I'll make a video on it. But thank you guys for watching, man. Hell of a stream today, man. We had a great stream in here. Stayed consistent around 800, 900 viewers all stream. We'll take that, baby. We will take that. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Who wins this weekend? Right now, you guys have it 70% Conor, which is kind of crazy to me, but I don't have those answers, so guess we'll find out. Peace.